Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. If you're on the go, speed up. It's Friday. Go to ESPNSA.com. You can watch us live. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. James, pleasure driving this boat all the way to the Rangers tonight at 6:30. Taking on the Mariners. Co-holder of the best baseball team in Texas record.
You're hanging on to that, huh?
I'm going to hang on to it till I can't. They're almost there. And they don't get to say it all.
Even when he can, he will.
Even when I can't. But right now, at least might end tonight. But as we sit, they get ready to take on the Mariners. But, hey, congratulations to the Stros yesterday. Altuve, homer, birthday, all that kind of stuff. We got a lot to talk about today. Spurs are in a do-or-die kind of situation. You feel like 5 straight losses isn't enough to kill the zombie that is the Spurs season. But maybe tonight, number 6 will do it. Taking on the Sacramento Kings, who are, kind of a day late and a dollar short on this charge. They've won a lot of games in a row, but they're still well out of the chase for the number 10 spot that the Spurs hold. But a loss is kind of a double whammy. That's kind of a 2-game swing for Sacramento. So huge game tonight. We're going to talk a lot about it. Jeff McDonald will join us at 6 o'clock for Game Night San Antonio, presented to you and by Mellow Mushroom. The football world is coming back to work, Jason. Draft is done. You got guys showing up to camp. We're seeing pictures of guys in the new jerseys. Saw a little bit of Jacksonville showing off Trevor's brand new uniform. I noticed something.
What did you notice?
The helmet. Trevor's got a kind of a unique helmet, and he had the same helmet at Clemson. We've had the helmet guys in before, the shoot guys. The expense and the importance of the helmet, I noticed immediately that he'd already bought his Jacksonville helmet. It's the same design, same maker, just a Jacksonville logo on it. That struck me as interesting that he already had that.
Well, I mean, he's known for months he was going to be the number 1 overall pick, so he had plenty of time to tell them what he wanted. I don't think he ordered it or paid for it. He just told Jacksonville, this is what you better get me. Same thing,
no question.
Seeing Zach running around in the Jets uniform with his new helmet. And I think it's interesting because it's the first day for rookie minicamps, but you don't think about the coaches. Robert Saleh, their new head coach, he said, the horn blew, and so we all gather around like you always do. And I went to the back of the huddle list for the head coach to speak and realized that was me. I had to go to the front. I mean, rookies for everybody, but man, I just appreciated the oh crap, this is real. I've got this.
Wait a minute. Everybody looking at me. What are y'all looking at me for? Oh, hey, all right, huddle up. That's pretty cool.
Better say something inspiring here. Good job, boys. Good job.
But as the teams gather, lots of questions are regarding, the COVID protocols, the vaccinations, and the idea with the NFL and what is a safe number of vaccinated players on the team to gather together without masks, and would you cut somebody if they weren't vaccinated, and you could get to that percentage where nobody would have to wear a mask and you could eliminate virtual, and the idea what virtual has done over the last year to young players and older players alike. Do they want to stay virtual? Do they want to get on the field? Lots of questions. It seems a lot of the players just soon stay home. Some 70% by a recent poll of the NFL Players Association. So a lot of conversation needs to be had as to what's going to be the normal going forward.
Well, and I think, the combination of both. I mean, going behind the curtain, we're having the discussion at our place, about, how as our office is trying to reopen, wants to reopen, but, the flexibility, because we have found that we are as productive working from home. I was reading in the Business Journal, Wayne Peacock, the big boss man at USAA, talking about how they're going to try to bring people back, but it won't be like it's been in the past. But there are certain things that you don't get over a screen. Some meetings just don't need to be virtual. So, the combination of both, I think, is going to be there. But I found it interesting, the player survey that the NFLPA did and the results of that, and the veteran guys, really the ones that want to go back to work because they're creatures of habit. They know what they're supposed to do. That, or they got young kids at home and just need to get the hell out of the house. It's got to be one of the two, right?
A lot of questions do need to be asked. Pat McAfee had J.C. Treader, he plays for the Browns. He's a center, of course, and he is their player association. He's a smart guy,
Well, sure.
He's of course, in the center, he's calling all the line plays. So that's what, the smart guys go do that kind of stuff. Interesting thoughts regarding what the players want and what the teams want. They're very different. Nick Saban responded to Jimbo. Now, Jason, when you play golf, you played the other day. But
I did.
You play, and Pledge, this is a question for you, probably more for you. When you play, what's your favorite gambling game? Like, you're a Nassau guy, you play Wolf. I mean, what is there a skin? I mean, is there anything
I like
that you
skins.
play?
I like to carry over and take a huge pot.
Okay, so skins. Nassau's always the one that we played. Just that's what I grew up playing. I'm comfortable with. But yeah, skins. I can lose a lot of money there too.
Yeah, I don't ever bet on the golf course with my own golf game, because I should just hand you the money. If we're gonna bet hole for hole, I'm just gonna hand you the money. Although I did play pretty good the other day. I played like crap, but I played better crap than the normal crap that I play. We used 5 or 6 of my shots. It was nice.
Well, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, gambling and golf, you don't have to be good. It's kind of like you just don't have to be the slowest gazelle. You don't have to be all that good to win at gambling on a golf game. You just got to have a marker, a peg, the D player that you can take their money. So I found that I've won money and I'm awful.
Yeah, but I am that D player. That's
me too. But every now and then you can stumble into it, even if you're terrible.
I wasn't the D player on Tuesday, and I felt pretty good about that. It was nice being able to utilize some of my shots.
There are so many jokes that I wanted to throw out right there, but none of them would be appropriate.
Because you know who the D player was.
There's not one thing that I could say that I would find funny that wouldn't have gotten me in a whole lot of trouble. The Forbes annual list of the most valuable French athletic franchises around the world is out. No surprise. Jerry leads the pack. What is it? 100 billion? I don't know. What's the value of the Cowboys now?
The Cowboys,
it's already changed.
It's gone up since they published this morning, because that's what happens. But the Dallas Cowboys are the world's most valuable franchise with a value of $5.7 billion. Their 5-year change in value is up 43%. Jerry bought this thing in 1989 for $150 million.
It is a license to print money to own a professional franchise. And that goes down to just about AA baseball. Now, AA, you got to work for your cash. It is a well-earned income that AA types get. It's a magnificent effort for those guys to not only maintain their profitability, but all the things that minor league baseball people have to do. And I think that they deserve some credit. But after that, shoot, if you can buy into a professional franchise, you have to be an idiot to lose money. I mean, the franchises is really, how do you not make money? You can be awful. It doesn't matter. Look at the list of the teams up there. There's terrible teams in the top 50 around the world that have appreciated 40% over the last 10 years. You don't got to do squat, but convince the owners that you're one of them. And once you're in that club, dude, just sit back and rake it in. The Jets are one of the most valuable franchises in the world solely because they're in New York. Not because they're good, not because they've won Super Bowls and merchandising and all that. It's just location. You can't lose money. Why would you ever sell?
The Houston Texans are on there. Why would you ever sell if somebody
Why would you ever sell?
I mean, you think about if somebody's going to give you billions to buy a franchise.
5 years, I'll make it. I'll still have the franchise. It's appreciating at 40% every 5 years. The money that it would cost to pry a professional franchise from would have to be near dead fingers is astronomical.
Think about this. This valuation at $5.7 billion does not factor in the new TV revenues that are going to kick in the next couple of years. I mean, and again, Jerry is a marketing machine. I saw a tweet from Darren Ravel earlier today that, apparently in 1984, Donald Trump had a chance to buy the Dallas Cowboys at that point for $50 million. And think about that, because in 89, Jerry paid $150 for it. But Donald Trump said back then, he said he feels sorry for the poor guy who's going to buy the team. They've got no chance. It's a no-win situation. If he would have bought the team for $50 million in 1984, according to the Forbes report, the Cowboys worth $5.7 billion. It would have yielded a 28% annual compound interest for 37 years. Think about the amount of money at $50 million in 1984. That it jumped $100 million in 5 years.
And all those red hats would be blue. The whole world would be different. The whole world would look completely different after all that. And I'll put it to you that Jerry is not that much different of an owner that Trump would have been.
No, all about the owner and whatever it takes to go win.
I don't think the Cowboys, where we sit today, would have been altered all that much if Trump had bought them back in '84. A couple Super Bowls, years of mediocrity, and high profitability.
And a whole lot of general managers that would have been fired along the way.
That would have been one thing that would have been rotated pretty quickly. Now that's all fake. RJ Ochoa joined us for his weekly update. We'll look at the Dallas Cowboys. He of Blogging the Boys, and I don't know if you guys realized it, but there's a fight tomorrow night. Canelo's fighting. Some guy named Billy Joe. I thought he jumped off a bridge. No, that's a different Billy Joe. Canelo's fighting for like 9 belts. There's all kinds of belts going on. But at the end of the day, they're all trying to gather them together and fight the IBF guy, right?
Yes. They want to get all the belts together. Sorry, I just got distracted by a Zion Williamson injury update. There's some breaking news here that is good for the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, no.
Is it good? Well, I mean, you want to be in the play-in tournament. They're 2 games behind, and Zion out indefinitely. A CT scan revealed a fractured left ring finger. He'll be sidelined indefinitely. A treatment plan and timetable for his return to play will be determined upon further evaluation. See, we've been saying all along, the Pelicans don't want to get there. They want to get into the lottery. Now, all of a sudden, a ring finger injury. It just as they're getting close and they see the Spurs dropping, big man, you're done for the year. Timetable, they got 6 games left. So if you want the Spurs in the play-in tournament, this is good news. If not, I think this is New Orleans officially waving the white flag and bowing out of their final 6 games.
Well played, Trajan Langdon. Well played. Broken ring finger? Dude, you ain't shooting jump shots. You can dunk with the other hand. What are you talking about? Get out there and play. Ring finger. We're going to have several guys out with bad hair. You
don't want to be in the play-in.
They're out. Why are they out today? Bad hair. This is humid. They couldn't come out. They just couldn't come out. It was bad. We'll hear from David Shaw, head coach at Stanford. He's going to talk about the Houston Texans' presumed next young quarterback and how he's going to fit in there in Houston. We got a lot to get into, so let's head out and pay for this stuff. Coming back, we're looking at the Spurs. Huge news regarding that playoff chase. Jason just told you, if you didn't hear it, you're going to hang tight through the break because we're going to tell you Spurs might be in a better position today without doing anything. It's never good if you don't do anything and you're better off than if you actually do go try. But they do have the Kings tonight. We'll start talking about it coming up next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and of course on the go at ESPNSA.com.
It is going to be a gorgeous weekend. It's also Mother's Day on Sunday. You're going to fire up the grill. You want a great meal. That starts with great meat, which means you need to get into Tri-County Meat Market. Either of their 2 locations. Tri-County is locally owned and full service. They have carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, upper choice. They have everything you need to up your grilling game: beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more. They got prepared foods. Rob, I did the avocado bomb last night, which was incredible. Man,
sadly, I cannot partake. Sadly, I have an allergy to the avocado, but my gosh, it looked good. I'll tell you, the thing about what Tri-County does is they take the best ingredients, they combine it with the knowledge of the meat that they're using, and they roll it all together and present to you a well-made, prepared, and something that you can go take home. That's just one of the many things they have. Remember this weekend, it's Mother's Day. It's one of those 4 majors. You know, if you want to run with the big dogs, you got to compete in the 4 majors, and this is one of them. You got to go get the right kind of meat to press, mama. And Tri-County got you taken care of. How about prime ribeyes for $24.99 a pound? That's a great deal. Creekstone, one of the finer brands across the country.
Yes, sir.
They got porterhouse and strips at a tremendous $19.99 a pound. You're not going to get a better deal than that. Head over and get that. Creekstone Prime T-bones are $18.99 a pound. Those are great specials. And if you're a first responder, go ahead and knock 10% off of that. 2 great locations, Hebner Road out on Ralph Fair. Go check out their website, TriCountyMeat.com.
Love the Blitz? Well, why not watch along and interact with the guys every weekday from 4 to 7? You can watch the show live every day at ESPNSA.com or on the ESPN San Antonio Facebook and YouTube pages. Just search ESPN San Antonio and subscribe.
Whether you're driving for distance, pitching for precision, or putting to win it all, come to Edwin Watts Golf Shop to get custom fit for all your clubs throughout your bag. Hit a few balls and let our team show you the latest swing technology and data that will help optimize your game. Having each club tailored to become your gamers will help you start shooting lower scores. Let Edwin Watts Golf Shops help you make every shot the perfect one. Come in and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Howdy, San Antonio. Chip Ingram from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, inviting you to come out and enjoy patio season. We have newly remodeled patios, garage doors, and everything else you need to enjoy this great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks. Happy hours daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And our kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. See you soon at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road.
This is Rob Thompson for Service First Air Conditioning and Plumbing. You ever need a guy in plumbing? I want you to write this number down. Put it in your phone. 210-521-1500. Save the number before you need him, because when you dial it, you know it's an emergency. When you're dealing with Service First AC and Plumbing, they are there for you. Family owned and operated in San Antonio for over 14 years. Fast, reliable, proactive, and most importantly, trusted. You have a guy in the Service First Plumbing AC. You have a guy in the plumbing and AC business. Fast and reliable, prompt. Put this number in your phone, 210-521-1500. I had one of their master plumbers over to my home just the other day. Professional, polite. It was a pleasant experience. Call Service First AC and Plumbing. The number's 210-521-1500. Put it in your phone.
Have Service First in your phone, 521-1500.
License number TACLB 27100E.
Nobody plans on getting arrested, but it happens. Get out of jail fast by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. Call AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans and are open 24/7. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half, that feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you could pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
It's the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. It's Mother's Day on Sunday, if you're unaware. This is basically your last chance. If you want to win some squala for mama, I want you to go to ESPNSA.com. Service First AC and Plumbing Mother's Day contest is still active. It's our last day. You want to play, you got to enter. We all know our mom's the best. You can prove it to her. ESPNSA.com. Get yourself signed up. We're giving away $1,000 for Mama Tomorrow. Service First AC and Plumbing brings it to you. Put it in your phone for Service First. Spurs play in Sacramento tonight on the road. That's normally a good thing. Got a late tip. Sometimes that's a good thing for us. We don't have to worry about getting up in the morning. It feels, Jason, very do or die-ish, although it's hard to say that when you've already lost 5 straight games. But if there is that ongoing intent, and we believe it is, to get to the playoffs, you're going to have to win at some point. You're going to have to, help your own cause out, even though the separation is still pretty wide behind the Pelicans. But
you
still,
don't think going into the play-in tournament on a double-digit losing streak is a good formula for success?
Well, it depends on how you define success, quite frankly. But I don't think it.
When you look at, of the Spurs' remaining games after tonight's game against Sacramento, there's 6 more games. You got the Blazers, the Bucks, the Nets, the Knicks, the Suns, and the Suns to close out the season. Tonight's game is the only game that you should look at the schedule and say, that should be a win for the Spurs. Yet Sacramento is a 5-point favorite tonight because the Spurs have been that bad. What have they lost? 5 in a row?
Yes.
If they don't win tonight, and if they don't win the rest of the season, that's closing the year on a 12-game losing streak, which is highly probable right now. Highly probable.
Blind squirrels and nuts, they're going to get a win or two here just because we're going to start running into some rest as well. Some of those playoff teams that are going to start taking the Spurs lightly. So I do think there'll be 1 or 2 wins out there. And I still don't see, even though they're not playing very well, any way that they're not going to get in the playoff game and into that play-in. If you're just joining us, it was announced just a couple of minutes ago by the New Orleans Pelicans that Zion seems to have broken his ring finger. There's a small fracture there. It is out indefinitely. I'm guessing until next season.
Well, you look at it. The Spurs in the 10th, Oak City, Minnesota, Houston officially eliminated. Sacramento is... They're 19 out of first. We're 16 and a half out of first. So what, 2.5 games? Sacramento, they could win tonight, and all of a sudden maybe they're in play for that 10th spot. New Orleans essentially today waved the white flag by putting Zion out indefinitely with a fractured ring finger.
So here we sit. If we're charging, this is a game you got to win. Unfortunately, you just said it. Sacramento's on a win streak. Marvin Bagley is finally playing the way that we thought that he was going to be capable of playing. Big men give the Spurs problems, man. Look at what Gobert did the other day and Bojan. It's certainly not going to be easy. And we're talking about a team that still has Buddy Hield. They don't have Halliburton, and we don't know if we'll see him again. And they're winning. And it appears that they are desperately trying to get into the playoff, and the Spurs, by every evidence other than what they say, seem to be doing everything they can not to be in the playoff.
Well, Sacramento's won 4 in a row.
Yes.
They're you're right. They're playing good basketball, although they are 29 and 37 on the year. But it's almost like once it felt like they were eliminated, they started playing good basketball, and they've played their way back into sort of contention. Which showed tonight for Sacramento is one of those do or die games. Because if they can get a win tonight over San Antonio, and I haven't looked at who Sacramento has for the rest of the season to see if it is sort of realistic that they would have a chance here. But you look at it, all of a sudden, they've got wins over the Mavericks, they got wins over the Lakers, not that big of a deal. The Pacers as well.
Pacers was a big win.
Yeah, all of a sudden, they're playing good basketball, trying to figure out if they could get into that play-in tournament. And I think it would be, they got 2 games with Oklahoma City, 2 with Memphis, and 1 with Utah to close out the season. This is a huge game for San Antonio if they want that 10th spot. Because 2 with Oklahoma City, 2 with Memphis, Utah, man, Sacramento's got a pretty light schedule if they want it.
Now tonight we expect to see the usual suspects, everybody in play. They're going to have to bring the bigs, and we're going to have to, we've seen what Sacramento does. They will run you, and they will shoot well at three-point land. And watching the other night, what was the fast break deficit? We got outscored like 26-2 in fast break points. Half that is get back and want to. That's half. Yeah. If you can't, when you defending a fast break is one, run as fast as you can to get back, and the Spurs have a real problem defending made basket fast breaks for whatever reason all season long. I think it's because they don't know where to be. They're trying to get back and be in the right place, and if you don't know where you're going, it's hard to be there on time. And it's just going to be an ongoing issue. And they're playing very well doing the things that the Spurs are doing very poorly at defending at. So this is one of those games where you look at what Pop does and what he's always been capable of, where you go, I don't see how they're going to manage this. I really don't see how you're going to be able to flip the switch after the drubbing you took over the last couple of games, not to mention the last 5. How are you going to turn it around against a team that's feeling good about themselves? We're going to talk about it a lot later for sure. Jeff McDonald will join us for Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Mellow Mushroom at 6 o'clock.
I will tell you, as bad as they played in their second game against the Utah Jazz, as embarrassing as that was, I don't expect the Spurs to have 2 clunkers in a row like that. The Spurs, if they've got any pride in themselves and in their game, individually, will play a hell of a game tonight against Sacramento. I do think the Spurs can go get a win tonight against the Sacramento Kings. I just don't know how.
I don't know how. We'll see. Sacramento, they've got their own issues, and I'm not sure how long that group's going to stay together. They're one of the, we always look at teams like this and you go, this team needs to be in the playoffs. This preparation, the time is done. In Sacramento, their prep time's been going on for 25 years now. So, I mean, the time, they knew that this is a team that, realized late, we got to be in the playoffs. So it's like Memphis needs to be in the playoffs because of where they were. I really believe the Pelicans needed to be in the playoffs this year, but they have punted that. The Spurs, I still think, need to be in the playoffs next year. But
I agree. I mean, this year, I want the play-in tournament, so the experience of a playoff-type atmosphere, but the lottery as well. I want both. I'm greedy.
The play-in tournament is an odd duck anyway, but it's going to make it even stranger when you've got 2 teams at 9 and 10 that really have no desire to go any further than that game. We'll continue talking Spurs later on. Coming back, Pat McAfee had J.C. Treader on his show earlier, and they were discussing the NFL Players Association. Treader is the Browns representative to the NFLPA. Discussions on bringing back your players for those. I'm doing it with air quotes if you're listening and if you're watching. Watch, everybody seeing this?
Yeah,
the voluntary workouts that have taken place over the last couple of years. Well, now voluntary is, I'll just do it at home. What do NFL teams think about it? What do players think about the voluntary workouts? And we're also going to look at vaccinations amongst the NFL players, and the percentage of those players vaccinated means something to teams, and it could affect players that are kept or cut. We'll talk about early season NFL coming up next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. Hey, Canelo Alvarez is fighting tomorrow night, and there's one place to watch it. It's over at Twin Peaks. They host the fight the right way because when you go there, it's a man cave. Yeah, the fight's at AT&T up there in Dallas, but there's no better place to watch than any one of the 3 Twin Peaks around San Antonio, because when you walk in there, every TV is tuned to the sport that you want to watch, and they start bringing you the stuff that you love. If you're boarded from the bar, you're getting 29-degree cold beer. Everyday specials are in play. You like local brews, they got them. You like small batch bourbons, they got them. They've got the exclusive stuff. Twin Peaks knows their bourbons. Local brews as well. Seasonal specials coming out of the kitchen, but I'll tell you what, my favorite thing to do is go to Twin Peaks, find my man cave, order a Huntsman's platter, a dark beer, and get ready to go for my favorite event. Canelo tomorrow night. Get there early to celebrate with like-minded folks all weekend long. If it's a sport and it's on, it'll be at Twin Peaks. 3 locations, 151 and 410. Days of Zavala and I-10, Park North location. Head over to Twin Peaks for that fine viewing experience. But why do we go? Well, it's easy. It's those scenic views.
Catch Texas Rangers baseball right here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. Brought to you by New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair.
Back, he's at the wall, and that ball is history.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
To all you do-it-yourselfers, get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. Because America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop into Advance and choose from 4 new Fram oil change bundles starting at just $20.99. They have the oil and filters you need to keep your engine running stronger, longer. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Thomas J. Henry is more than just a law firm. We give millions back each year to our local community through local sponsorships, events, and fundraisers. Have a cause that needs help? Visit tjhlaw.com. That's tjhlaw.com. San Antonio, Texas.
You're still running your business on QuickBooks? QuickBooks? More like quicksand. The bigger your company grows, the faster you sync with outdated software that just can't keep up. You don't have time to spend dealing with manual processes, multiple systems, delays, and scrambling to get the numbers you need. It's time to get on solid ground. NetSuite by Oracle, the scalable solution to run all of your key back office operations, no matter how big your company grows. NetSuite gives you visibility and control over your financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. Everything you need to grow all in one place. NetSuite helps you automate your key business processes and close your books in a fraction of the time. Think days, not weeks. In fact, 93% of surveyed organizations increased their visibility and control of their business since making the switch from QuickBooks to NetSuite. Right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind financing program only for those ready to graduate from QuickBooks. Head to netsuite.com/radar. That's special financing for you graduates at netsuite.com/radar.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 33.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Parents, do you want your child's shoes to fit perfectly? Then you need to get your kids Skechers Stretchfit shoes, because Skechers Stretchfit shoes are so comfortable and so stretchy, they easily slip on and fit almost like a sock. Your child is constantly moving and constantly growing, so they need a shoe that moves with them. And Skechers Stretchfit's soft, stretchable material contours to their busy feet. It's a perfect fit. And not only do they fit like a dream, they perform like one too. Skechers Stretchfit keeps your child's feet comfortable all day long. With Skechers' exclusive air-cooled memory foam and a breathable stretch fit knit, your child will be cool and comfy whether playing, studying, or just hanging out. Plus, you'll love just how durable they are. Stretchfit is designed to take everything your child can throw at them, and if they get dirty, just pop them in the washing machine. It's that easy. Give your kids perfect comfort that adjusts to them with Skechers Stretch Fit shoes. Find them at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever kids' shoes are sold.
Let's get wild. It's the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. Thanks for hanging with us. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Pat McAfee gets great interviews. He's one of the guys. He's very approachable to NFL types because he's been in locker rooms. He understands the code and really gets great interviews. He was talking with J.C. Tretter on his show earlier. J.C. Tretter is the player representative for the Cleveland Browns to the NFL Players Association. And as the draft is now done, we've got rookies now showing up to all the individual camps for the rookie camp, going through all their first preseason. Well, this is the year after COVID, and a lot of things changed over the last year. And there are some things that a lot of players like virtual workouts and virtual meetings in this off season for voluntary workouts that are supposed to be voluntary, though we all know they haven't been over the last couple of years. Jason, how much do you think the NFL is going to be able to change to a different norm after the years of you are graded by how many hours you spent in your facility?
You know, it's interesting because I do think there are some things about last year's virtualness that some players probably want to keep. Now, and you look at it, Cleveland, how many of the Browns actually make their offseason home in Cleveland versus, say, the Dallas Cowboys, where many of the guys live there year-round? So it does seem like the Cowboys have a vastly different number of guys that use the facility year-round because guys have made their permanent homes there. And versus Cleveland or, say, Green Bay or wherever, Now, granted, the Cowboys do have plenty of guys that still go somewhere else for the off season, whether down to Florida, out in California. Sean Lee is an example, was always living in Santa Barbara in the off season, but would always make it for the mandatory / voluntary, kind of workout. So I think,
would you leave Santa Barbara?
I would. I mean, but Sean Lee, his mindset, he would leave. Sean Lee would fly to Dallas just to get on the team plane to fly back to Oxnard because he felt like that was the right thing to do. So, I mean, you get the different personalities of guys, but also, they want to work out on their own. Last year, they had to work out on their own. The other day, a guy with the Denver Broncos working out on his own got hurt. It's going to cost him $10 million because he wasn't at the team facility or a team-approved facility. So I think things like that are going to change, where guys are going to be able to work it on their own and be protected if they get hurt while working out. One of the things that Treader was talking about with Pat McAfee is, surveying the players. And I'm sure at your office, if your office has been closed or closed at some point before you came back to work, you were probably surveyed about your desire to get back in the office. And everybody has, differing opinions and views on that. Guess what? NFL players are no different.
Right now with the virtual OTAs and not thinking that the NFL in its facilities, which by the way, I don't know the research, you've done that, I assume, aren't prepared maybe, and last year's virtual offseason was good. How the hell, and I assume this is something you had to talk about, how do you expect the rookies to do this? Because that is interesting. Like, how is that going to happen? And how does...
And, and Pat McAfee brings that up. And, he's right. Rookies... It's completely different, and we're seeing a bunch of rookies right now that are going through the rookie camps that they're able to do. Here's more with McAfee and Treader.
Yeah, I think to go back to kind of a quick history lesson, I try not to bore everybody.
No. Hey, this is good. We need this because we don't ever get to hear this, so we appreciate you.
So originally, the NFL wanted to make these OTAs mandatory. They wanted the entire offseason to be mandatory. And we negotiated, collectively bargained to make sure they were voluntary. And what we've seen over the last decade is near 100% participation in the offseason, in the voluntary offseason program. And then COVID came around last year and nobody went in, and football was fine and players were fine. They were healthier. And now guys look around and say, well, why am I volunteering my off time to show up to the facility when it just was proven I don't have to? And we surveyed the players to see kind of what do you want in an off season? And over 70% said we want to stay virtual. And that was interesting for us because we made sure to check years of service as well compared to that, because we wanted to see whether a young guy saying, no, let me go in, and it's just the older guys. And that wasn't the case. I think the most interesting statistic was guys with 2 years of service, 74%, one of the higher percentages, 74, said, no, we want virtual. We don't want to go back to the old model. And that was a group of players that had 1 year in the old model and 1 year of virtual. And they were like, no, the virtual is much better for us. We want to go with that. And it was 70% of the guys who just did virtual last year. This year, they're not saying, man, I missed too much, I want to go back. They were, I'm good with virtual. And that's our job as a union, is to fight for what our players want. And it's a voluntary program. So the league has gotten used to us all showing up and it being pseudo-mandatory. And for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, they've had their players tell them no, and I'm not going. And it's ruffled some feathers, and they're not happy about it. And this is where we're at now.
It's interesting, isn't it? Especially the younger guys. And I could see the older guys, creature of habit, the benefits of being in the facility, and maybe they got kids at home that they just need to go to work.
Well, some of it, I think, is they don't know what they don't know. You've had a taste 1 year as a rookie, and you had 1 year as at home, but the fact is, if you had to make the decision and they let you could stay virtual and we won't question anything, but there's going to be guys in the locker room working out. The incentive to be in the locker room suddenly gets a whole lot higher if you're a first or second year guy. The 6-year guy, you're right. I just don't think that they're comfortable doing it this way because they've always done it another. I don't think it affects them that much. I think we realize you don't have to, be in your office, be at the facility, be on the field as much as we were in the past, just because everybody else was. But that old sentiment dies hard, though, Jason. Coaches pride themselves on 100-hour weeks and sleeping in their office, and suddenly everything's virtual, and they don't have to be here, and I'm going to be here. Well, you better be here if I'm here, kind of stuff. I think this is going to die slowly, and it'll be mandated by what the players demand in their collective bargaining.
Well, I think, voluntary is going to be a lot more voluntary. And again, it used to be voluntary, but you needed to show up and you were expected to show up. But at the same time, when you think about the virtuals, guys like Gronk screwing it for everybody when he says, well, yeah, I had to send videos to our coaches every day of me working out. So one day I worked out and wearing 5 different shirts, and I would send them a different video for the different days. And there are guys that did that. I mean,
well, you know what? If you do that and somebody beats you out, it's your fault. You're a professional. If you choose to slack, you're going to get cut. You might steal a little bit of money for a while, but eventually that money dries up if you're not going to work out. I think you have to treat professionals like professionals. You want to, you choose not to? Then fine.
I think every team, and it's not necessarily about the coaches and what they're requiring. What are your team leaders asking of you as an individual? Because everybody wants to be a part of the team and everybody wants to feel like they're doing their part. So if you get, let's say, do you ever hear of a wide receiver setting up a throwing camp, at some sort of destination? It's always the quarterback. And if the quarterback calls a bunch of wide receivers, those wide receivers show up. But you don't hear this guy organized a group so they could go out and do routes. It's always the quarterback that sets that up. I do think a lot of it depends on your team and your team leadership. If the team's like, hey, you get your team leaders calling and saying, hey, you need to be in the building, I bet you they all show up at the building. But if they get a call that says, hey, man, don't worry about it, I ain't coming to this one, then ain't nobody showing up.
You talk about guys that are ruining it for the rest of us. Gronk, fine, work out differences. Remember Jamarcus Russell when the Raiders drafted him years ago, worst draft pick of all time, and they were a little worried that Jamarcus wasn't doing his at-home studies, so they gave him like 3 VCS. I mean, it was back then, tapes to go study the night before practice to come back and be prepared for the defense. They gave him the tapes to go home and watch, but they gave him blank ones just to see if he was going to watch them or call him and say, hey, these aren't the right tapes. So he went home, came up to practice the next day. They said, did you get everything you needed out of the tapes? Oh, yeah, studied them all night. Oh,
Coaches know.
Didn't they hide money in some of them?
They hid money. I thought one of them was kind of an adult movie. I've heard varieties of stories about what were on those tapes or what wasn't. There was no football on those tapes, but Jamarcus studied them all night, and they knew, and it cost them.
And he stole some money, but he was gone. I mean, if you're going to compete, you'll compete. I think you have to treat them like professionals with the platform that is available to you to come in if you choose to. But it's going to be interesting to follow. It's funny how the Cowboys have been so successful in these off seasons. They've done a stellar job, it appears, by every measure. I haven't heard a single Cowboy complain or any talk of not going or being there. It seems like Jerry has done a good job of walling off, sealing off the star, and making it safe and available to everybody, because no complaints there at all.
It's great, though. They win every offseason. I need them to win every season. I mean, that's like Mac Brown was Mr. February, man.
Real quickly, we talk about the COVID offseason and things like that. Now, the NFL is toying with an idea that if you have a certain percentage of players that are vaccinated, you will be able to work in person. You'll be able to gather together with much less stringent protocols. And a question was asked of the Buffalo Bills general manager, if it came down to a guy that you wanted on your team that wasn't vaccinated, for a guy that was vaccinated, it might not be the best fit, would you cut the guy you liked? And
he said yes.
They erred on the side of less talent and face-to-face.
He said, I mean, it's an advantage to have your meetings in a room, not be virtual. You've got the attention of everybody. You don't have distractions. And it's one of those questions that he probably should have answered differently, even though behind closed doors, hey, look, man, we're making cuts. This guy vaccinated, this guy not. We get rid of that guy that isn't vaccinated. That gets our percentage to the threshold that the NFL wants us to be, and you go. He said they would. Now the NFL has sent a memo saying you can't cut somebody just because they're not vaccinated. So you just find another reason, right? I mean, but it is interesting. I'm kind of surprised that as we hear the NBA has that same kind of number, that we haven't heard more and more NBA guys that have gotten vaccinated to where that would loosen the standards, unless it's been that way and they just haven't made it public for whatever reason.
I don't know. I know that it's fairly possible, if not entirely probable, that a lot of places are going to require vaccines. And you really can't fight it. I mean, it's been proven that businesses and institutions can enforce that. You don't know vaccine, no entry. It's I'm surprised the NFL hasn't done that. Coming back, Nick Saban responded to Jimbo in the best way possible. Nick is the godfather, and he's going to prove it once again in a retort to Coach Fisher with the Aggies, just kind of calling out Alabama, doing the right thing, we believe, in front of the Aggie Club there in Houston. We're going to talk value of franchises. RJ Ochoa will be here in the middle of the 5. And, of course, we got lots of Spurs talk. And don't forget, there is a Canelo fight. We'll get you ready for that as well. Hey, coming back, we're looking at the SEC West and the battle that's brewing. Hold on tight. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
It is Mother's Day weekend. You know you're going to fire up the grill, and if you're going to put sausage on that grill, you know you want the very best. That is Kielbasa smoked sausage, the kind of sausage you could find in butcher shops back in the old days, and it's because the way they make their great legendary smoked sausage at Kielbasa. It's done in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood, just the way it was done in 1949 when Kielbasa was started right here in San Antonio, and they're still a great San Antonio company. Everything they make is made right here in San Antonio over off South Brazos Street, as they are on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats. And, you know, they've got this new chicken sausage. I had it on my grill last night, the hatch chili and cheddar flavor. It is fantastic. They also have a roasted garlic smoked chicken sausage available for a limited time, only available online at kielbasa.com, or you can go down to their company store there at 1325 South Brazos Street and get it. It is fantastic. And you know, when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you'll ever eat. If it's not, call Michael Kielbasa. He'll give you your money back. He puts his number on the back of every package sold. You're going to fire up the grill? Go get some Kielbasa today.
We're number 1 on Kate Upton's presets.
Okay, we probably are.
But how awesome would that be?
Yes, I was.
Hi, Kate. San Antonio sports leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
All day, every day.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
If your spouse's search history includes single and ready to mingle, you may want to reboot your situation. Call the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. The Divorce Dude will help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude will fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. Call George, the Divorce Dude, 210-201-0303. That's 210-201-0303 or DivorceDude.com.
Does learning a language feel like this?
No habla español? Hablo. It's hablo? Yes. It's hablo.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
Since my husband is from Guatemala, I'll apply what I've learned in Babbel to our real life situations.
The app is so easy to use and it's so practical. It helps you learn things that you will actually need.
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the Blitz. Happy Friday to you. We made it. It's been a long one. It has. This has been a week, man. Mother's Day weekend. If you haven't got Mama a gift, just go to ESPNSA.com. Service First AC and Plumbing wants you to win $1,000 to make a holla. Yeah, that's right. Mother's Day $1,000 contest. It's easy. Go to ESPNSA.com. Go to the contest. Get yourself signed up. We're giving away the $1,000 mañana. This is the last day. So get yourself in. Vote early, vote often. You know, that kind of stuff. We're talking Spurs a little after 6. Jeff McDonald of the San Antonio Express News will join us as we look forward to a Spurs-Sacramento Kings game tonight. Tip at 9, a little bit late as they're over on the West Coast in what appears to be a do-or-die game. And when we come back at 5, Jerry's got a very expensive team. It's the most expensive team in the entire world. And we'll go down the list of the top 50. I was kind of surprised to see the Texans on there, though I guess I shouldn't be, although the Spurs are not one of the top 50 most valuable franchises in the world.
Shocker.
I think I checked the basement at number 50. It's like $2.83 billion. So they're not, whatever they're worth, they're not quite worth that. But we'll dig that up for you. Jimbo Fisher was at the Houston Aggie Club this week, revving up the fans, getting everybody red-assed and ready to take on the rest of the the SEC West as they're imminent to do. And Jimbo is part of the she doesn't like her either.
Reveille.
Yeah, I've got my own reveille. He called out the Godfather. He's coming for him. He's going to take down the Bama. They're good enough. We're good enough. We're strong enough. We're worthy. Now it's time to go do it. He's firing us up, not his team.
In fairness to Jimbo, Lola, what was asked? He was asked by a fan during the fan Q&A. Aside from Nick Saban retiring, what is it going to take to beat Alabama? And he said, you know what? Whether he's there or not, we're going to go in there. We're going to beat his ass. Is exactly what you'd expect him to say. So of course, TV reporter down there in Alabama had a chance to see Nick Saban and asked the Godfather's response to Jimbo's comments.
Coach, got to ask, your friend Jimbo said yesterday that at some point while you're in Tuscaloosa, he was going to beat your butt. That wasn't the word that he used, but did you have any response for that?
In golf?
I think he meant on the football field.
Well, I'm sure there'll come a day, but
yeah, right.
Is that what he's talking about? Football?
He was talking about football.
Oh, he was? Wow. He used to be on my noontime basketball league, I guess. We're no longer partners, when it comes to that. Coach. Now, they have a really good team, really good program, and, they're getting better and better all the time. And there's a lot of challenges in the SEC, and they're certainly one of the up-and-coming programs. And he's always been a great coach. Did a great job for us when he was with us, and he's had a great career as a head coach. So, it's going to be a challenge for us, no doubt, when we have to play him.
It's a standard answer that he has about every former assistant coach that has been on his staff that he doesn't remember. Well, he was great when he was here, and they've got a good, talented team that's up and coming. I mean, but his reaction in golf and the look on his face was just classic. We're talking football.
Dude, he's 23-0 against his assistants. It hadn't happened. You're like, you sure he's bringing up football? You want to call Lane Kiffin, Kirby Smart, maybe Jeremy Pruitt, see how they're doing? No, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, my brothers. No, I appreciate the arrogance. I think he needs to say it that way. In golf. But again, what Jimbo said wasn't aimed at Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. It was aimed at the at the Aggies with the eagerness to donate to the 12th Man Foundation. Those are the ones he was talking to. This one had nothing to do with the football team. This had everything to do with those that buy the tickets and donate in excessive maroon ways to get this thing over the top. Jimbo's just doing what he ought to do, and I appreciate it.
Well, and again, I have no problem with anything that Jimbo said. In fact, if he would have said anything other than, probably would have been a little disappointed, because it's the time of year where you should be talking that kind of smack, and nothing wrong with it. Now, while we're waiting for the SEC football season, there is some big time college football on your TVs tomorrow.
Absolutely.
The FCS semifinals at 11 a.m. You got South Dakota State against Delaware. That game's going to be on ESPN, but on ABC at 1:30, James Madison against Sam Houston State down at Bowers Stadium in Huntsville, Texas, for the right to go to Frisco for the national championship. I put my Sam Houston State flag out today. It's ready to go. I can't wait for tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. Don't look at me like that, Pledge. And see, I got to tell you, because last week you forgot there was a football game, and you're like, what are you tweeting about?
It's true. There is, in fact, football playoffs going on. The thing about they're playing James Madison, right?
Yeah, they're pretty good. But
Madison
Sam
has
Houston,
ended a lot of dreams down here in South Texas over the years. They seem to knock out our teams every year. They're good.
They are good, but you know what? Sam Houston's the number 2 overall national seed. James Madison's number 3. That's why that game is in Huntsville. And Casey Keeler has never in his career lost a home playoff game.
There you have it.
Week,
tomorrow
they knocked off
on ABC.
North Dakota State. Yep, and it's on ABC.
I thought we had eliminated all the Dakotas. I thought the Dakotas were all done. South,
well,
North.
No, the North Dakotas are done. You still got the South Dakota team, and they're I think the Jackrabbits or whatever. They're number 1. Although I'm kind of hoping Sam beats James Madison and Delaware beats South Dakota State, because Casey Keeler, the head coach at Sam Houston State, used to be the head coach at Delaware. And the last time they won a national championship, and coached some guy named Joe Flacco there with the Blue Hens.
The Fighting Blue Hens. On the FCS note, former head coach of Pulaski Academy. Pulaski Academy is a high school in Little Rock, Arkansas. We've talked about this guy in the past. He's the guy who never punts. He's done the numbers, run it through his Texas Instruments TI-75, and figured out that if you punt, you're giving up the ball. You're giving up a down. And decided, if we get 4 downs, why did I run 4 downs of offense? And it's kind of worked. 18 years as a head coach at Pulaski. He's won 9 state titles in Arkansas. Now, I don't know how big Pulaski Academy is, but it seems to be big enough to gather some notes. So big, in fact, that no kicks, no punts is moving to college. He's taking over the Presbyterian I don't know what they're known as. I was going to try to. Yeah, they're FCS. The Presbyterians are coming.
Well, what's
not going to punt.
Name, like Jenky Jones or something like that, right?
Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly. But Jenky Jones is better. I like Jenky Jones, though. I think he's the special teams coach. Jenky Jones, huh?
Never punts.
Never puts that old Jinky, man. I don't know where he learned football, but they use all 4 downs. It's kind of odd. Yep. As we head into break, in all seriousness, there's a young man I want to congratulate here in San Antonio. His name is KC Cruz. I've known him since he was a kid. He's the age of one of my sons. A year and a half ago, not quite a year and a half, just almost a little over a year, was diagnosed with a very difficult case of brain cancer. Very difficult thing. He has gone through a year of chemo treatments. He finished up yesterday. Blessings.
Congratulations. Absolutely.
Congratulations. Casey, you made it. We're with you. Stay strong, my brother. We'll be right back. We're looking at the value of the Dallas Cowboys in the top 50 around the world. Lots of soccer on that list. Now you can see why they were trying to form a super league. We'll talk about it next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
After such an extraordinary year, it's time to celebrate the most extraordinary member of the family. Mom. Diamonds Direct invites you to join us as we say cheers to the mothers in our lives. For this Mother's Day, we've put together an exceptional collection of affordable and meaningful gifts for any budget. Birthstone rings, stackable rings, eternity bands, pearls, elegant diamond pendants, and of course, stunning diamond earrings. So cheers to you, Mom, for being such an incredible partner, for learning to be a teacher in the past year, for keeping the family healthy and safe, for always putting everything else first. This year, more than ever, she deserves a gift that's anything but ordinary. And at Diamonds Direct, that's our specialty. Timeless gifts of jewelry that she can enjoy and cherish for decades to come. Why not surprise her with a bigger diamond for her ring? Come let the experts at Diamonds Direct help you find that remarkable gift that says, cheers, Mom, for all your remarkable efforts over the last year. Diamonds Direct, official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Cantera.
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, pump, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at Tsaog Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, Tsaog has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through Ortho Connect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at Tsaog Orthopedics. Online, tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
Nobody plans on getting arrested, but it happens. Get out of jail fast by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. Call AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans and are open 24/7. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
We're all ready for spring. Now's the time to get ready for spring projects with help from the Home Depot. Install a brand new faucet, lay down fresh new flooring, roll on a bright new coat of paint. Need to figure square footage or paint coverage? Our project calculators will do the math. Do it all from our app and get delivery right to your door. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
I'm Justin Tatro, organist of the Texas Rangers, and this is your home of Rangers baseball. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM KZDC San Antonio.
Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. On the go at ESPNSA.com. If you go there, you can watch us live, our YouTube feed, our Facebook feed right there. You can head over to Facebook as well. You'll see the mug of Jason Minix wearing his Sam Houston Bear Coon shirt.
Bearcats.
I'm Rob Thompson. Oh, sorry.
Get it right. Eat them up,
I think they're both scary. And then James Pleasure. And by the way,
Cats with a K.
if you have the opportunity, go find a device at which you can view our program, and you will see a freshly shorn James Pleasure. His beard fell off. You notice that? He only looks about 13 now.
You know, it's funny. I was at the station earlier. I was talking to him, and I thought something looked different about Pledge, but it might have just been he was in person and not on a screen and a little square on my iPad. Yeah, dude, you shaved. Look at you. You do look 12. Well, you know, the other day he was talking about, you know, how he turned 40 but could still wear his clothes from high school.
Look like that same babyface intern that walked into your door, huh?
And
Loadies many years ago.
If you bleached your hair, you poor bastard, you're going to get carded at the bar tonight.
What prompted this, James? You got a meeting with your parole officer? What's happening?
I mean, I just wanted to shave it. I hadn't seen what I look like baby-faced in a while, and apparently it's still baby-faced.
I have zero desire to know what's going on underneath this beard. There's nothing good happening underneath this.
All I got to do is what have we been doing this show together now for about 5 years? And, those original shots that we took 5 years ago that we're still using at ESPNSA.com and some of our other promotional materials with beard. You're like, who's that guy? That's Rob.
He's Jim O'Brien.
Yeah.
It's Bob Thompson.
No, that's my pop. He's far better looking than me. He doesn't need a beard to cover up all this kind of stuff. This hour, we're looking at the value of the professional franchises around the world. We're going to hear from David Shaw, who is the head coach at Stanford and the former head coach of the new Houston Texans quarterback Davis coming to town and his fit there. RJ Ochoa will be here in just a couple of minutes. Jerry Jones leads the pack again. He is the owner of the most valuable sporting franchise in all the world. And it is zero surprise. But what I'm always amazed at, Jason, when we go down the top 10, 25 or whatever, is how quickly franchises have appreciated in value even over a year with no fans. Even without anybody buying a ticket or very small percentages, these franchises, regardless of sport, are just skyrocketing. It's 40% annual, 20%, 40% over 10 years. And we're talking about 40% of 200 million. I mean, it just is extrapolating toward numbers that it's almost hard to fathom.
Well, I mean, it makes it impossible to sell. But I mean, you look at it, and so many, as you go through this Forbes list and you realize there are groups that own them, so a bunch of rich people had to pull their money together to get a franchise where Jerry owns it. A lot of these families that have had them forever, they're the exception to the rule. You got to be like a Ballmer who could, just find $2 billion under the couch cushions to buy an NBA franchise. But, the top five, tour soccer, tour in New York, and you've got the Dallas Cowboys at $5.7 billion. We all know the story. He paid $150 for it, $150 million. Kind of crazy that the Yankees in 1973 were bought for $8.8 million and are now worth $5.25 billion. Think about that. The Knicks, bought in 1997 for $300 million, are worth $5 billion. Barcelona is at number 4, and Real Madrid is at number 5.
How many different investments, excluding crypto and all of that, can you expect to appreciate nearly 50% in 5 years?
I can't even fathom. I mean, even if I got my financial advisor, Daryl Lyons, on the phone, I don't even know if he could give us anything. And if he could, I'd get mad at him because I want that. What aggressive investments can you make to where you can get that kind of a return that fast? And I don't know that they exist outside of owning a sports franchise
or a drug cartel. I mean, what else?
Well, there's that.
The ability to just be there, just be present. It has nothing to do with winning. It doesn't matter what you do. You are going to because the Cowboys, they're average. It doesn't have anything to do with what New England is on this list because they won a bunch of Super Bowls. Barca and those, they're on the list because they're singular and they're worldwide. It's just Jerry at 500.
Now, I would imagine, without knowing how Forbes comes up with everything on there, but you do have 26 football teams, only 9 basketball teams, 6 baseball teams, and they're propelled by ever-escalating media rights deals, single biggest factor to land in the top 50. But also, you look at it like Jerry with the Cowboys and the Knicks, because they also own Madison Square Garden. The Yankees are on there. They own their TV network. But you look at all the events that happen at AT&T Center. How much of that revenue, like the big Canelo fight that's going to happen tomorrow night, does that fall into the overall value of what is the Dallas Cowboys, let alone merchandise and everything else? Because you look at everybody on here, they all sell a bunch of shirts and jerseys. They sell a ton of merchandise.
But Jerry can sell merchandise whether they're winning or not. That's what confounds me. In most business settings, output equals input. You will be successful if you are successful, but you're not going to get successful unless you become successful. The Cowboys, they're not successful. They're 500 at best for 20 years.
Well, look at the Knicks. They're number 3 on this list.
Well, here's the difference. The Knicks and the Yankees, they're kind of vertically integrated. They have, a massive market. They control the means of distribution, and they control the advertising coming and going on both sides of the fence. You can see why they're successful. Jerry, he owns the building. And that's about it. He does the TV rights he helps to negotiate, but he doesn't have anything individual and exclusive like the Yankees or the Knicks. It is just literally him inside of an entity, and has done it so much better than anybody else. Of all the other owners, he's done it so much better that it does not matter if you win.
They're America's team. I mean, the biggest surprise to me on this list is the Golden State Warriors at number 6 are the most valuable franchise in the NBA at $4.7 billion. They were bought in 2010 for $450 million.
That is all Steph Curry, all of it. Steph Curry's worth $1 billion.
I mean, and again, they're number 6. Second NBA franchise. The Knicks are in the top 3. Sorry, I got that. But I'm still surprised to see the Golden State Warriors valued at, and not much more, at $4.7 billion, where the Lakers are only $4.6 billion.
This is Golden State. For long-term NBA types, it seems utterly ridiculous. They were the laughing stock. They and the Clips for 20 years. Yeah, Golden State will fall apart. Now they have passed the Lakers. That says a lot, not only about what Golden State has done in the market they're now in as, techies and built into some real value there, but it also speaks the Lakers. This is with LeBron. It's not like they didn't have LeBron when this was taken. This is with LeBron and Anthony Davis with a world championship in the last year, and the Golden State still passed.
How much is that as the Golden State Warriors pull into Southeast Asia, though?
Well, I mean, it's all of it. I mean, that's
all of it. Yes,
big part of it. Look at the jersey patch that they're getting, and again, the merch and stuff and everything else. We often talk about the football team and little Danny Snyder, who bought the team in 1999 for $750 million. They're number 19 on the list, worth $3.5 billion. And you wonder why this guy doesn't want to sell.
Not bad for a guy that.
Yeah, he'll take all the arrows coming his way because he sleeps very well at night.
He made his money selling urinal advertisements. Not bad. Not bad for a guy that started out selling urinal advertisements, amongst other things. And I guess it kind of equates to what happened to the Washington football team when he's over the years as he's taken it over. Little Dickie Snyder. They're going to force him out eventually. Hey, coming back, let's talk with RJ Ochoa. Blogging the boys, Rock the Mic champ, our Dallas Cowboy insider, and all-around nice guy. RJ is going to join us next. We'll look toward the Cowboys. Following that, we'll talk Texans. James Pledger is eagerly awaiting a Texans segment unless something else comes up. Let's talk with RJ. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. It is very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer. Through the years, I've bought many vehicles from Ancira, including one that I have now. My daughter's car and my niece's car are from Ancira. Half the people at the radio station drive vehicles from Ancira, and it's because of how well Ancira takes care of you before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with all the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ansira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
We get you ready for every single silver and black game on Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is DeJounte Murray.
Get the latest on the silver and black before every game.
It's Game Night San Antonio.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, your home to 7 days a week happy hour. Come eat, drink, and socialize safely at all 4 Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar locations. And now you can join us bright and early at the newest location, Slackers Medical Center. Now opens at 7 a.m. to serve our valued medical community. Nurses, doctors, frontline workers, and staff, we thank you. Slackers Medical Center at Fredericksburg and Medical Drive. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, now with 4 area locations to quench your thirst.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 7711 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 7711. Enjoy.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Canelo Alvarez, this is a champion in his prime.
Witness Canelo, the pound-for-pound king, face the fearless.
I think we need to get right into this conversation with Canelo's next opponent. That's Billy Joe Saunders.
Can Billy Joe Saunders defeat Canelo?
Canelo versus the undefeated Saunders. Super middleweight unification fight, May 8th, live on DAZN. Download the DAZN app.
There's no plan around. I'm going to go there, get the job done, and come home. That's simple.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough. And the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Of course we can help you gear up for that next oil change. We've got a great deal for the job. Right now you can get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX conventional or high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $28.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. If you're on the go, ESPNSA.com, the place to be. I want to remind everybody tomorrow morning, 9 to 11, you get your hangovers taken care of. James Pledger, Jack Thompson, get you ready for all your Saturday occasions. Sunday, we'll get you going with Michael Jimenez and Quinn Hudson. That's 11 to 1 for your Sunday sports grill. Now, this week, they're taking Mother's Day off. We're giving everybody a little bit of a respite, but they'll be back next week.
What?
For what? Yeah,
rookies are supposed to work on holidays, man. That's part of the Radio 101 playbook.
It's very true. But we had some logistical issues that we were dealing with. And
yeah.
It
Fair
is
enough.
Sunday, and, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
The things you got to deal with.
So they were lazy.
I wouldn't go that far. I think there were some other things in play, but I just want to make sure everybody's aware that they will be off on Sunday. They will return next week at their regularly scheduled time. Speaking of regularly scheduled, when RJ gets here, we're going to have to talk to him. Running late, we have to dock him some friendly points. But in the meantime, let's talk some Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, we think that Garrett Gilbert's going to be the backup quarterback, though they've assigned his number to somebody else. They're actually showing up to camp with two guys wearing the same number, one of them being a backup quarterback. So I don't know what that speaks to his long-term standing with the Cowboys, but they do need another quarterback, you'd think. And they did talk to one of Florida, former Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah, your old neighbor. You got to wonder if he's going to be there. And I think part of it is just having some good training camp bodies as RJ Ochoa jumps in a little bit late here. The fact that they gave a punter Cooper Rush's number tells me Cooper isn't going to be there during the regular season. Don't worry. You're not going to need that one. Although there are reports, RJ, that Jeff Driscoll showed up, had a good meeting, but they didn't offer him a contract.
Yeah, I mean, you were there, Jason, the year that Kellen Moore broke his leg. You always want to have names in mind for training camp if something happens, whatever the case may be. If the Nooch doesn't work out, if Garrett Gilbert isn't up to snuff, I think it's fine. Jeff Driscoll's a fine quarterback. He's got a handful of starts to his name, which is certainly impressive.
It doesn't matter. Sign one, bud. This quarterback, literally, like you just said, this is a training camp arm.
Right. I think he's more than that. Like Ben DiNucci, Cooper Rush is your training camp arm. If CD wants to run some routes after practice, Cooper Rush is the one throwing to him.
Well, that's true, although Kellen Moore could actually do that. I do want Garrett Gilbert to have a fair opportunity. I liked what he did with the Orlando Apollos and show that he could have be a second or third team guy, but the free agent quarterbacks that have yet to sign with the team include Matt Barkley, Blake Bortles, RG3, Brian Hoyer, Brett Hundley, Matt Moore, Nick Mullins, Drew Stanton, and Josh McCown.
Jeff Driscoll is like the most mobile of all those dudes. And so like if you want a guy to, work against your awesome defense that you're rebuilding, Jeff Driscoll's the dude. I think a lot of people would choose the third greatest Copperas Cove Bulldog of all time. Number one's obviously Jason Minix. Number two, Peanut Tillman, and one RG3. But like RG3 comes with, RG3 comes with so much baggage. I don't want that in Dak Prescott's quarterback room.
It doesn't matter. If Dak goes down,
this is a weird hill.
It's all over.
Upset on.
But I'm not upset. Sign Jeff. Why didn't they sign Driscoll? What are they waiting on? What exactly is it? Is there something else that they got their eye on that's going to be better than him? That list we just heard doesn't improve you one lick. Yeah, maybe a couple of these guys have starters. I do like Mullins. I think Mullins might have some potential out there, but no more than Driscoll. And if Driscoll comes and had a great visit and he leaves and they're not going to sign him, what on earth are they looking for? Because from my perspective, it doesn't matter.
I mean, I think they're negotiating. Maybe he's got to, take care of some stuff, some paperwork. Who knows?
No, he doesn't. He's Jeff Driscoll. If a team offers him a contract, he is signing it. Period.
Yes.
I mean, he's got zero leverage. He's waiting for the phone to ring, just like RG3 is waiting for the phone to ring, just like Nick Mullins is waiting for the phone to ring. The only one that might not be is Josh McCown or Alex Smith, who might unretire if it was the right opportunity.
Yeah, Nick Mullins is intriguing, although while he is a bit of a narcissist, Kyle Shanahan. Well, no, I was going to say Kyle Shanahan is, again, extremely arrogant seemingly, but he gave up on Nick Mullins. And so if one of the NFL's brightest current offensive minds is out on Nick Mullins, I think I'm willing to punt there. But Jeff Driscoll, y'all get on board. Let him wear number 9, all right, instead of Jalen Smith. I mean, let's just get wild here.
Let's not let anybody wear number 9. Let's not get crazy. But again, Jeff Driscoll, I think what happened is they went into the interview and he said, I used to be neighbors with Rob Thompson down in Florida. And they said, get out. Get out.
Nothing good comes from that.
No, they said Rob Thompson, the guy that hosted the Super Bowl party with Trey Wingo down in Florida, that was a good time.
That was a good time. That's a good time. That means you've got a lot of bad habits that we won't be able to fix.
Where did Trask end up? The newer Florida quarterback
in Tampa. He's in Tampa. Yeah, so he doesn't have to move very far. Which, by the way, when Cammy and I went on our honeymoon to Florida, we drove. I don't know if I made this joke with y'all. We drove past Boca Raton, and it just struck me like, how have if we were the Buccaneers, right? Like we're 4 dudes on the Bucs. I would demand that we have like a summer vacation to like a house out there, and we would call ourselves the Boca-Neers while we were out there. Like, how has that never happened yet? Like, that needs to be a thing.
It really does.
A lot of reasons that hasn't happened. we could go into it, but
I mean, you'd have to be about 4 shots in to be shouting
the Buccaneers.
Yeah, like seriously, like we'd get shirts made and caps and koozies. Like it'd be a good time.
Only if we're sponsored by Captain Morgan.
You are now the pledge representative to the social committee. That's going to be your duty, so get to work on that. I expect to see a logo and a T-shirt here in the next 6 days, all right? The Buccaneers.
Yeah, the logo would be the Bucks, like the pirate, but like with the hat on instead of the pirate hat. Like it makes itself.
It's Florida. It would have to be a visor.
It'd have to be a visor, and it'd have to be gray hair coming out from behind it. It'd have to be gray hair.
Shaw sombrero things.
The Buccaneers. All right, you're on the Blitz, and let's not ever speak of that again. As the Cowboys prepare for voluntary workouts. We've heard some discussion from Treader, the J.C. Treader, the player representative with the Cleveland Browns, regarding voluntary workouts and virtual ideas. We were talking earlier about the Cowboys. No dissension there, right? I mean, is there anybody on the Cowboys that wants to stay home during these voluntary workouts?
It doesn't seem like it. It's hard to read into this, but they generally seem to be a team with strong player leadership that kind of figures out what's good for the group. You'll recall they were among the first, if not the very. I know the Saints got all the credit, but they bubbled up themselves at the Omni connected to the Star there. So they're. I think it helps also that they all already live there. It's not like, they live in other places. Most of them are DFW Frisco guys. And so, they're a unique case in that regard. It's one less thing that, Cowboys fans have to worry about that some other teams are dealing with.
And again, I do expect the majority of the Cowboys, if not all of them, to be there for the voluntary mandatory stuff and obviously the mini camps. The interesting news today is, Jerry said at his first public press conference when they signed Dak Prescott to that contract that he can't wait to have all the media in Oxnard, that the Cowboys are going to Oxnard. We are going, and the media is going to be there. We've, we'll be having our tent studio set up on the tennis courts there at the Marriott. We're going to Oxnard. The NFL sent a memo today that said, before teams leave their facilities for training camp, you've got to submit a plan, and it's got to be approved. Any chance in hell Roger Goodell tells Jerry he can't go out to Oxnard?
There's a greater chance that one of the Spud Nuts products lasts longer than 3.5 seconds in the hands of Rob Thompson than that the Cowboys aren't allowed to head on out to Oxnard, home of the best pizza in the world, Toppers, and of course, one of your favorite establishments, the Rudder Room.
What happened to Dan the Mans? I thought Dan the Man top Toppers on your pedestal.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about. You've fabricated this lie for 2 years now, and I won't allow it any longer.
The thing about Dan's is they deliver more than pizza. You're on the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio. He's RJ Ochoa, blogging the boys and Rock the Mic fame. You had a great column on blogging the boys this week regarding the Cowboy defense and Dan Quinn. We're watching a whole lot of linebackers take shape there. Tell us about what your expectations are for a Quinn-led defense.
Well, this happens a lot. Like, NFL for Cowboys fans will see players across the NFL. They'll say, man, like, why can't we have one of those dudes? And Deion Jones is one of those dudes within the Atlanta Falcons. And I'm not a fan of all these like jersey number like loosenings that we're seeing. And I'm not a fan of linebackers wearing numbers in the 40s. However, if you're an ultra fast linebacker and a versatile one, you can rock a number in the 40s like Deion Jones is. And so I think that Dan Quinn's got that. He's got two of them. He's got Micah Parsons and he's got Jabril Cox, who the Cowboys landed with the 115th overall pick, arguably the most versatile linebacker in the draft class when it comes to coverage abilities. And so I think that we're going to see a linebacker group, a middle of the team's defense that can move side to side, which is very different. And I do think that in general, like philosophically, disposition speaking, it's already there. I mean, I think we'll see a level of accountability, and that's really been absent specifically at the linebacker position. You know, if there's a sense of nepotism, for lack of a better word, on the Cowboys currently, it is their 2 star linebackers in Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. They see the least amount of penalization or accountability for their mistakes, for their errings. And, you know, Leighton's obviously injured sometimes, so it's a little bit more difficult there. But I think we'll see some more discipline and some more accountability. And I think that's really, really, really been lacking for a long time.
Accountability all over the Cowboys, especially, though, on that defensive side. I guess we really haven't talked to you since the draft concluded. I know you weren't a big fan based on your tweets of the Friday night selections that the Cowboys made, but overall, you know, obviously they went defense heavy. Micah Parsons wouldn't have been my first pick. I wanted Rashawn Slater to beef up that offensive line, but clearly the Cowboys are comfortable with the health of that group, and they didn't address it till later in the draft. But, you know, your overall impressions of the draft and how you think it will impact the team.
I think, you know, they brought in 8 new players defensively. And I think there's a good shot that at least all 8 of the defensive players they took make the roster. And I think that says a lot. It also says a lot about like the natural purge besides the one that they're, you know, creating themselves. But with Tyrone Crawford retiring, obviously Leighton Vander Esch just 5th-year option being declined, Sean Lee retiring. And so that's nice to see. And I think, you know, we would have loved as Cowboys fans to have seen, you know, moves like the declining of Leighton's 5th-year option done with Tyrone Crawford. That was a Cowboy who the team just kind of let skate and let be overpaid and never really demanded anything else from, although he was a great leader. But overall, I think, you know, it was a very different draft than last year, and that last year they really, really prioritized value. And so, like, every pick made a lot of sense. This year, they didn't pigeonhole themselves, but they were very specific in what they wanted, all the way down to specific physical traits. That's why, like, Nashawn Wright was their pick in the 3rd round. That was the biggest head scratcher of them all. And Israel Mukuamu, who we spoke to on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel, by the way, fantastic dude. Both 6'4", and that's what they want. They want these big, you know, tall, rangy dudes. That's what Richard Sherman and Brandon Browner were. I think I'd give it a B. I think they maybe had the 3rd best draft in the division. I think the Giants were better and the Eagles were marginally better. But it was what they needed.
That doesn't say much. I don't think that's a compliment. You're 3rd out of 4.
I think that, you know, I think the NFC East had a great draft. I think they all drafted their tails off, honestly. And I think Washington would be better if not for the fact that they didn't take a quarterback, and that was such a glaring need. But so that penalizes them for me. But it was what they needed, and they were. I also think if Dan Quinn's going to be your defensive coordinator, let him be your defensive coordinator. Get the dudes he wants. And not that Mike Nolan deserved to be a defensive coordinator last year, but they didn't help him. You know, they didn't get, and the help they did try to get him was lost early on, and Joe McCoy and Dontari Poe was really bad. So if Dan Quinn's going to be your dude, if you're going to go salsa dancing, Rob, learn the salsa, because if you get there and you don't know how to salsa, you're doing the merengue, the cha-cha, like, it's not going to work out. I mean, and so you've got to figure out your way to go, and the way is Dan Quinn right now.
The salsa, the merengue, and the cha-cha. You got them all in there. That was good. That was good. He's RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys. You brought up Mukuamu, the safety that the Cowboys drafted. They got him late. They really didn't address it earlier when they had a couple of opportunities. I know, what's his name? Bobby McCain? Is that the guy that was recently dropped by the Dolphins? Are the Cowboys still searching for a safety, or are they comfortable with Wilson and the likes that are there and Mukuamu?
I think they're comfortable, which is unfortunate. I think we might look back at Trayvon Merrick getting drafted by the Raiders as maybe the closest they'll have come in the last 20 years to really spending a normal high pick on one. I mean, what was frustrating was actually Stephen Jones joked about that, about, you know, Trayvon Merrick going to pick ahead of them taking Kelvin Joseph, and was like, yeah, that poor safety position. And here's the thing, the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in a quarter century, and so that speaks for itself. But if Steven wanted to joke about quarterback, right? You know, okay, fine. You know, because they've had success. They landed an undrafted free agent. Dak Prescott was a 4th round pick. And if he wanted to be yeah, all these loser teams that have just been 1st round picks, that must suck. It would at least make a little bit of sense because they've had success. Thank you to the pup. It's not Bear for the first time. But this is a position that they suck at. And and it's because of the approach that he's like bragging about. And so, he's over here like, yeah, that poor safety spot. Oh, well, it's like, yeah, dude, it's like 100% of evidence suggests that what you're doing is not working.
It's true, but again, though, I mean, I think they would have taken the former Smithson Valley Ranger if the Raiders didn't snag him. But I do appreciate they didn't go, okay, well, who's the next best safety? If they didn't like any of the other ones, they didn't bring them in. And to a degree, while I wanted them to get a safety, don't bring in somebody that you don't love, somebody that you don't think is going to be a good fit. So I appreciate them not just reaching for the next one if that wasn't their guy.
Yeah, and there's logic in that, and I agree with that. But then that's why you got to move up. They had 11 picks, and they didn't move up one time. I cannot believe they sat and drafted 11 times. And so those are the decisions that kind of make you scratch your head. But they got Nashawn Wright. I mean, he of Last Chance U fame. Talking about Oxnard. I mean, this has all gone full circle now for us specifically. So, I mean, the best pick was Jabril Cox. The most understandable one was Micah Parsons. The most unforgivable is Josh Ball. And the sneakiest, coolest one is the Simi Fehoko pick. It'll be very interesting to see what he looks like in training camp because he's just going to moss people all day long with that physical size.
You got bossed. He's RJ Ochoa. Hey, but did you watch Stranger Things? Are you a Stranger Things fan? Have you seen the?
Oh yeah.
You don't seem nearly as excited as I am.
Wait, what are you talking about? Like what happened recently?
No, the trailer came out.
I did not know that. See, this is where I'm flawed. Okay, well, I'm a Stranger Things fan. I thought we were all friends here. I thought, this is the kind of thing that you would share if you saw it and I didn't. I mean, so shout out to you, Rob.
The problem is 99 times if it's something that Rob saw on the internet, you saw 5 hours ago or 3 days ago. I mean, let's be honest.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Rob isn't going to call you and go, man, I just saw this on the internet. And we're talking about a trailer to a show. And you guys get excited. I don't get it.
I'm totally psyched. It's coming.
Jason,
it's around the bend.
That's because you don't watch shows. You're the weird person that only likes movies. And so it is what it is.
I don't even watch movies.
Hey, did you guys watch My Octopus Teacher? Won the Oscar for Best Documentary. Let's go.
What? You know what? To your credit, you did mention it. You did enjoy it. And it did, in fact, win. So in honor of that, I promise to have watched it by the next time we speak.
You watch it too, Jason. My Octopus Teacher. It's on Netflix.
Oh, is that a show? I thought you had
a documentary. It's a documentary. It's called My Octopus Teacher.
I'll be right
Life
on that.
lessons taught to you by an octopod.
I just sent you the trailer, RJ.
It does look exciting.
Thank you to play.
What you got planned this weekend down in the valley?
Gonna play some golf. Gonna do the Mother's Day thing. Gonna go run some errands right now. I think I told you guys I recently discovered my old Pokemon card set, and so it's apparently worth a lot of cheese. So Robbie T once told me a lot of scratch. So I'm gonna go, talk to the Pawn Stars of the world and see how much this binder of mine is worth. No big deal, but shout out to 8-year-old RJ because the biggest card, the Charizard, even at the age of 8 years old, I was organized enough to have it in a plastic sleeve within the sheet that holds all the cards. So, shout out to me from long time ago.
Did you ever get a Charizard card there, Jason?
No. And if I did, I did not protect it the way that RJ did, and it would not be worth anything. RJ's about to put his kid, although he doesn't have any, through college when he sells this Pokemon card. It's ridiculous.
Who would your starter be, Jason? Charmander, Bulbasaur, or Squirtle? I think you're a Squirtle guy. Jason's a Squirtle dude.
Charmander, for some reason, we're losing our connection with RJ. I'm not sure. His connection seems to be. I have no idea. None.
RJ, what was yours?
Charmander, forever. I mean, anything else is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Our house, we were all team Charmander.
Yeah, Charmander on the red version of the game. Blue version was for weirdos. Jason, you would totally have had the blue version. You might have even on Bulbasaur, if I'm being honest.
He strikes me as that kind. He's always been much like that. Hey, RJ, man, it's good to catch up with you, man. Take care of yourself. We'll talk to you next Friday.
One love, Charmander for life.
One love. RJ Ochoa. Check his stuff out on Blogging the Boys. If you're a Cowboy fan, you need to be there. And also make sure you're following him on all the socials. He's a rock the mic champ and a good dude. Coming back, we're talking Texans. Yes, they got him a quarterback. I wonder when he'll play. Circumstances, everything, right? We'll hear from his former head coach coming up next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. It's a Friday night. You got the weekend here. None of you plan on getting arrested, but somebody will. Maybe it's not you, but you get a phone call from a family member or a friend that they were arrested and they want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You can even start the bonding process there online. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. Of course, they are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're down in the valley with RJ, you're over in Corpus, up in Dallas, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, 225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
I'm Justin Tatro, official organist of the Texas Rangers, and this is your home for Rangers baseball. 1250 AM and 94.5 FM, ESPN San Antonio.
I love that spot. What are you going to do when your AC goes down? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and you should do too. That's called Service First AC and Plumbing. But you put this phone number in your phone right now while you're thinking about it. 210-521-1500. Put it in your phone. When you need it, you know the number is there. Service First AC and Plumbing. They do both commercial and residential work. That's certainly important, but I'll tell you why you need to call them. They have the fastest service and same-day service calls. They understand the value of the AC for your business and how important it is to stay cool while you're at home. If it goes out, I want you to call Service First AC and Plumbing as soon as you can, and they'll be right out. 210-1500. I'll say it again. 210-521-1500. They're family-owned. They're fast, reliable, proactive, and most importantly, they're trusted. You can have them into your home. They're following every protocol. I had a master plumber out to my home just last week. Angel came by, professional. I could not be happier with the service I've gotten from Service First AC and Plumbing. Tons of online 5-star reviews. Don't just trust me. Know that when you call that number that you're going to put in your phone, 210-521-1500, 24 hours, 7 days a week, someone will answer and they will get somebody out to you promptly. They specialize in emergency AC and plumbing. Service First AC and Plumbing. Put this number in your phone. Trust me, 210-521-1500. It gets hot here in San Antonio. What are you going to do when your office or your home AC goes down? I'll tell you what you need to do. You call Service First AC and Plumbing as quickly as possible. Be ready when you need them. They are fast. They will be there to take care of you. Put it in your phone. Service First AC and Plumbing. I did, and I've already used it. Your AC is going to go down eventually. Know when it does. It'll get fixed faster and more reliably than with Service First AC and Plumbing.
No one outfits golfers better than Edwin Watts Golf Shops. We've been fitting golfers since 1968. Utilizing cutting-edge fitting technology, we'll analyze your swing and our Foresight launch monitors and fit you with the perfect club, pair of shoes, the latest golf apparel, golf balls, bags, and more. So come by today for your complete custom fitting. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
We all like things to be easy and convenient, and New Brakes has done that with brake repair. Jason Minix here for New Brakes, nubrakes.com. They're a mobile brake shop. They will come to your home or office or wherever you are and fix your brakes. If your brakes are bad or going bad, go to nubrakes.com and schedule your repair. New Brakes provides convenient and affordable brake repairs, and they only fix brakes, so you won't get the upsells like at a traditional repair shop. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. New Brakes uses premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. If your brakes are squeaky or grindy, go to nubrakes.com. Schedule your repair. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. nubrakes.com. Busy at work or just relaxing at the house,
You continue to do what you do while New Brakes fixes your brakes. They're great at what they do. Go read all their 5-star reviews and schedule your repair at nubrakes.com.
Have you been denied credit? Are you paying high interest rates because of a low credit score? Join the thousands of people who've relied on creditrepair.com to help rebuild their credit score.
I went to get my first car. I had to get a used car, high interest, and so I knew that things were done from there.
For over 15 years, we've helped thousands with their search for solutions to credit issues. We communicate with you, your creditors, and the credit bureaus with a unique approach designed to remove items like late payments, collections, charge-offs, liens, bankruptcy, and foreclosures that are unfair or inaccurate.
And I've gone up 40 points already.
There are many services offering to tell you your credit score and even monitor it for you. But what good is just knowing your credit score when what you really need is to fix it? Credit Repair members see a significant improvement in their credit scores month after month. Call now to get your no-obligation credit consultation, including your free credit score and free summary credit report. Don't delay. Call 800-651-3674. That's 800-651-3674. 800-651-3674. Not available in all states.
It is the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. The Blitz is brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Jason Thompson. His website's lawyerforus.com. His phone number is 210-900-0400. Listen to me. If you've been in a car crash, an auto collision, that's not your fault, man. You need some help quick. If you've been injured, I want you to call Jason as soon as you can. 210-900-0400. 900-0400. He'll get to work for you. Make sure you're getting everything that you need. Remember, when you call and speak to him first, that consultation is absolutely free. And know this, when you call Jason, he will be your lawyer and take you through the entire process. All right. We're going to talk Houston Texans. But a news flash just crossed. There is evidently a Chinese rocket that is hurtling toward the Earth and could land on one of us at some point in the next 24 hours. So I think that's a lot more important than talking back up Houston Texans. No, let's not kid ourselves. The Houston Texans are certainly in a quarterback search, though they got themselves a pretty good one right now. But the chances of Deshaun Watson ever putting on a Texans uniform is only slightly better or worse than Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. With that in mind, they did go draft
or getting hit by a rocket.
I mean, there's lots of reports out now that Aaron Rodgers could be back in Green Bay and with a fresh contract. And, he's got guys talking, friends of Aaron Rodgers doing the media rounds that damn well they want to stay friends with Aaron Rodgers. So they're not saying anything that he hasn't given them permission to go say, right?
What did John McClain tell us? When they say it's not about the money, it's always about the money. So maybe it's just about the money. We'll wait and see. But let's talk Houston Texans because I want to give a little gift to the freshly shorn James Pledger. We heard from Davis Mills, the Texans' newly minted quarterback. His head coach there at Stanford, David Shaw, spoke of. And this Shaw guy, he's seen a few quarterbacks come down the pike. I think he knows of what he speaks when he talks about them. He's put at least one almost into the Hall of Fame if he hadn't retired early. He knows quarterbacks, and it's all about location, just like real estate, right, Jason? If you land in the right spot and you got enough talent, you'll find a way. But that right spot might be more important than talent.
Well, you've got to be in a successful environment and be in the right situation. You look at, like Sam Darnold. Could he have success in Carolina? And the Texans are, they're expected to be bad. They're expected to be not bad, god awful. They're going to get the number 1 pick next year. But if Deshaun doesn't play, who really is going to be your quarterback? And, they did draft a quarterback that not a lot of people were talking about. But when you hear David Shaw talk about Davis Mills, maybe if you're a Texan fan, maybe there's a little bit of hope that it won't be quite as disastrous as, well, you might think.
I feel great about Davis. Davis has a calming effect on people and on an offense. So I think as far as whatever influence he can have early on, he is a stabilizing person. Very similar to me, honestly, personality-wise. Not a lot of highs, not a lot of lows. Very workmanlike, very confident. He'll handle the situation the right way. He'll say the right things. And if he has the opportunity to compete for the job, he'll compete for it. I think he's got a chance to win it if he does. And if he does, to go out there and play well. So you won't have, I don't think, the stock market up and down that typically you'll have in a rookie because he is such a stable person.
And again, you've got to be somewhat good to have ups and downs. I just see it being all downs. But, I mean, you hear David Shaw talking about his quarterback, and obviously he's not going to say, yeah, man, I feel so bad for the kid. But there is something about the Stanford quarterback that can come in, has dealt with everything that he had to deal with in college, especially during this COVID year, and had a pretty good year. And then you think about if he would have gone back to Stanford, he would have been a first-round pick next year.
It suffered through a lot of injuries. But, we just had R.J. Ochoa on, and he talked about the Cowboys draft and how they were very specific in what they were looking for, not only body type, but mentality, the type of guy. Some of the things that kind of scared us because, quite frankly, the Cowboys have whiffed on some picks because there were body types that they were chasing instead of just straight-out skill. TJ Watt being primary on that list. But I do think when you hear Coach Shaw talk about his quarterback, that calming presence, that kind of presence is the type that the Texans had to get. I mean, he's showing up and landing in the middle of a hurricane. This is a team in utter transition. You better be grounded. If you're a rookie, you better be a smart, grounded rookie quarterback because you're stepping into a situation where it is entirely likely that you could be playing in a month. I mean, you could be out on the field considering who's in front of you. Injuries could happen quickly. He's going to have to, location is everything. But I think they drafted personality as much as they drafted skill with this guy because they knew what he was coming into.
Well, and obviously that's there. And I think the best thing for Davis Mills, if he does play, there is zero expectation for this team to be good next year. Zero. I mean, Texans fans know they're going to suck. The organization knows it's going to suck. And so any little bit of success that he might have is gravy. It's not like he's coming in and, like Joe Burrow last year with Cincinnati, expected to elevate Cincinnati to X number more wins, or the myriad of first-round quarterbacks that the Cleveland Browns have added throughout the years. I mean, if he does have to play in his rookie season, the expectation for Davis Mills will be so small, so low, that it would be easy for him to be deemed a successful rookie if he can get a couple, 3 wins. I mean, what did I see? They're projected to win, 2 to 4 games? 2 to 4 games, finish last, and with the number 1 overall pick next year. And even that seems a little generous.
You don't want to be the guy to replace the guy. You do not want to be the guy that's taking snaps after Deshaun Watson. He's in a tough spot. Let's hope he stays mentally strong through the awfulness that will be the Texans for the next couple. Or it could turn around pretty quick. I mean, they could land a boatload and some real talent here before we know it. So he might be in a better position later than he is now, but it's going to be a rough one for him.
Easier to replace a Deshaun Watson when they've lost all their receivers. They've lost a J.J. Watt. And if Deshaun actually does get traded, it's not going to be, the story isn't about Deshaun unhappy in Houston anymore. It's about Deshaun and 22 massage therapists that have filed lawsuit against him. That's kind of easy to replace.
Yeah, but that number 1 pick sure would look good on a quarterback.
Well, he won't be there long.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that number 1 pick might very well be your replacement. You don't want to be the guy to replace the guy. Coming back, let's talk some Spurs. Jeff McDonald just after the 6 o'clock hour. Canelo has a fight tomorrow. He's playing a guy named Billy Joe. We'll talk about that as well. Hang around. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you need your logo on gear or you need masks, get into Sammy's Embroidery Club over there on San Pedro. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, get your logo on shirts, on jackets, on caps, on masks. If you need uniforms, boy, Sam has them. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. And not just embroidery, silkscreen shirts for any occasion, family reunions or other events. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with 1-day turnaround, No order too small, certainly no order too big. Go to the website, samsembroidery.com, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. All items do come with a warranty, and you work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now. Call him 210-824-3900. 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
100% sports, 100% of the time. That's 200% sports.
Your math is blowing my mind.
San Antonio's sports leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors that stand out in the Me Too snack aisle. Sea salt and cracked black pepper, pineapple ancho chili, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to higher flavor levels with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rind.
To all you do-it-yourselfers, get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. Because America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop into Advance and choose from 4 new Fram oil change bundles starting at just $20.99. They have the oil and filters you need to keep your engine running stronger, longer. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
With 24/7 customer service and guaranteed repairs, your Progressive policy works the way it's supposed to. Unlike this stressful meditation guide.
Take a deep breath. Focus on all the things you have to do. Did someone make the vet appointment yet? You don't know? That feels like something you should know.
Switch to Progressive today.
You are a mess.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Repairs through Progressive Network. Jobs guaranteed for as long as you own or lease your car.
Sorry to interrupt your jams, murder mystery podcasts, or motivational beach noises, but we got something else you might like to hear. It's called cash. That's the sound of an extra $250 after your first 10 deliveries with Uber Eats. That's right, an extra $250 on top of all the other cash you'll make during those first 10 deliveries. If that sounds good, visit t.uber.com/extra250. Uber Eats, deliver with us. Limited time offer, terms apply. See t.uber.com/extra250 for more details.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're talking Spurs with Jack McDonald here in just a couple of minutes. He of the San Antonio Express News, Game Night San Antonio. Spurs and Kings tonight. Late tip. The Rangers are hosting the Mariners at Globe Life. I'm sure the roof will be open. It'll be packed full of stands, and the best, or the tied for the best team in Major League Baseball in the state of Texas. The Texas Rangers take on the Mariners tonight at 6:30.
Percentage points behind the Astros, who are hosting George Springer today.
How many wins they got?
The Astros, I'd have to look. I think 16.
The Astros are 16 and 15. You know what the Rangers are? How many wins the Rangers have? 16. They both have 16 wins.
But the Rangers have more losses. It's percentage points, man. Percentage points, man.
You know, it's how many games have you won, and they're tied. They are tied for the best professional baseball team in the state. Right?
How you
know who's behind them? The Honey Butter Biscuits.
Really? Is that it? The one from Whataburger?
Yeah, the honey butter biscuits that are the hooks on Wednesday nights, I believe, did take down the missions. Hey, you're running out of time, guys. It's Mother's Day on Sunday. Tomorrow, we're giving away $1,000. Service First AC and Plumbing Mother's Day contest is running out of time. You are on the clock. Go to ESPNSA.com, get yourself signed up, and your mama could get some squala. $1,000 is brought to you by Service First AC and Plumbing. Go sign up now. Coming back, we're talking Spurs. Jeff McDonald joins us for Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. We'll be right back.
You know, we all like things to be easy and convenient. New Brakes has done that with brake repair. Jason Minnick's here for New Brakes. They're a mobile brake shop. That means they will come to you to fix your brakes, your home, your office, wherever you are. You know, we all like things to be easy and convenient. New Brakes provides convenient and affordable brake repairs, and they only fix brakes. So they're not going to offer you the upsells that you get at a traditional repair shop. They only use premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. So if your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, schedule that repair now at nubrakes.com. You'll save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. Busy at work, relaxing at the house, you do what you do, they fix your brakes, and they're great at what they do. Go read all the 5-star reviews and schedule that repair at nubrakes.com. nubrakes.com.
Your silver and black game nights start here.
This is Matt Bonner, a.k.a. the Red Rocket, a.k.a. the Red Mamba, a.k.a. the Sandwich Hunter.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. Game Night's The Blitz shifts its focus to your silver and black.
Hi, this is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
An in-depth look at the night's game. 30 minutes before every game night on The Blitz.
1250.
ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM.
If your husband kisses a dog with more passion than you, it's time to make a change. Call the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. The Divorce Dude will help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude will fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. Call George, the Divorce Dude, 210-201-0303. That's 210-201-0303 or DivorceDude.com.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 10 locations and check out the Kubota L2501 tractor package deal, which includes a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package deals at ewaldkubota.com.
Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, your home to 7 days a week happy hour. Come eat, drink, and socialize safely at all 4 Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar locations. And now you can join us bright and early at the newest location, Slackers Medical Center. Now opens at 7 a.m. to serve our valued medical community. Nurses, doctors, frontline workers, and staff, we thank you. Slackers Medical Center at Fredericksburg and Medical Drive. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, now with 4 area locations to quench your thirst.
We all like things to be easy and convenient, and New Brakes has done that with brake repair. Jason Minnick's here for New Brakes, nubrakes.com. They're a mobile brake shop. They will come to your home or office or wherever you are and fix your brakes. If your brakes are bad or going bad, go to nubrakes.com and schedule your repair. New Brakes provides convenient and affordable brake repairs, and they only fix brakes, so you won't get the upsells like at a traditional repair shop. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. New Brakes uses premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. If your brakes are squeaky or grindy, go to nubrakes.com. Schedule your repair. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. nubrakes.com. Busy at work or just relaxing at the house, you continue to do what you do while New Brakes fixes your brakes. They're great at what they do. Go read all their 5-star reviews and schedule your repair at nubrakes.com.
It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half, that feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you could pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Get mom the perfect gift at Macy's Mother's Day sale with an extra 25% off her favorite designers with your coupon or Macy's card. That's on top of already great deals like 35 to 55% off fine jewelry she'll love and 20 to 30% off handbags, accessories, and more great gift ideas. Plus, get your gifts even faster with same-day delivery powered by DoorDash. Now at Macy's.com. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. Online at ESPNSA.com. All day, every day. KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minutes. Rob Thompson. The Blitz. Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is Manu Ginobili. This is Matt Bonner, a.k.a. the Red Rocket, a.k.a. the Red Mamba, a.k.a. the Sandwich Hunter.
Hi, this is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
It's Game Night San Antonio and is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Spurs back in action tonight after a horrible visit to Salt Lake. Stayed there for 3 days, lost 2 games, and kept jetting west. They landed in Sacramento to take on the relatively hot Kings, making a late run, chasing that number 10 spot that the Spurs currently sit. Take the Kings off tonight about 9 o'clock on Central Time. Make sure you're watching your Bally Vision, and and their weird graphics as they get going tonight. Spurs losing 5 straight, holding on to number 10. Earlier today, we're chasing Jeff McDonald of the San Antonio Express, as you should join us post-haste. But earlier today, it was announced that the New Orleans Pelicans are putting Zion Williams on the shelf. He evidently has a hangnail and is going to be unable to complete this season because, you touch a hangnail weird, it really hurts. No, actually, it was announced that he has a cracked ring finger and will sit out indefinitely as they endeavor to stay out of the playoffs. And the Spurs continue to hang by just a couple of threads onto that 10th seed, though it's going to be very difficult for them to lose that over the next 10 days.
Well, that's it. And it's kind of hang on to the 10th seed. Because if they don't get a win tonight, they might not win another game this regular season. And chances of them winning in that play-in tournament, 1 game, although right now it would be a 1-game matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are playing about as good as the San Antonio Spurs. But you look at Sacramento that have won 4 in a row. They're making this push to try to get into that play-in tournament. It certainly feels that way, where at the same time, New Orleans, they thought they might get good. So let's put Zion out indefinitely. Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Houston, they're already eliminated. So, it's a 3-team race for that 10th spot. I don't see any way the Spurs make up a game and a half to even get the 9 for Memphis. It truly is hanging on by a thread to the 10th seed. Tonight's game, in a lot of ways, does feel do or die for the Spurs.
It would be a 2-game swing, certainly, for the Kings as they try to grab that number 10 spot. And I would like to think that most Spurs fans would be more than apt to give it to them. But as it sits, it's just going to be tough to get there. So here's where we sit. Losing 5 straight, you're taking on a Sacramento Kings team that you've split with so far. You ran them out of the gym once and played them pretty close in a loss as well. So there has been a modicum of success. But when you look at what Sacramento does well, Marvin Bagley's been playing very well as of late. A big man that can score low. That has always been a problem for the Spurs, and even more so this year. Jakob has done a yeoman's-like job, but there's not a lot of help down there with him. And when you go big, like what we saw with Rudy Gobert and Bojan Bogdanovic, who both had great couple of games against the Spurs, their bigs dominated ours. You would like to think that the guys that are healthy with the Spurs, even without Derek White, we've got enough bodies to defend the likes of Buddy Hield and that offense that likes to get up and down the court. But that's been something that's definitely been lacking. So you look at keys to victory against the Kings. It's do the basic stuff. Get back on defense. It was embarrassing to watch against the Jazz for a lot of reasons, just their inability to get back on defense on both made and missed buckets. They just have a tendency to fall asleep or not know where to be. They're going to have to stop a very fast Sacramento team who, even though they don't have Halliburton, a real spark plug, a guy that the Spurs I don't think regret but would certainly like to have had on this team this year, even though they passed on him. The idea that Halliburton isn't there doesn't help much. Kings are playing well. Beating the Pacers the other night was a significant win. That wasn't just a momentum win. That was a skill set win. They went big. Their better guys scored, and they beat a good team on the road.
Well, they did. And again, Sacramento is playing good, and it does fall with what are these Spurs internally. It doesn't matter what you want or what I want, what the fans want. It's in that locker room with that coaching staff. Are they trying to get that play-in game experience? Because we know even if they get there, they're not going to make the real playoffs. So they're still going to be in the lottery if they get that play-in experience. And if that's what they're chasing, they've got to win tonight. Sacramento has a much easier schedule to close out the regular season, where the Spurs, if they don't win tonight, I really don't see another win. Portland, they're in the 7th spot right now trying to get the Lakers into the play-in tournament so they can make the real playoffs in the 6th spot. So, tomorrow night in Portland, that's a huge game for the Blazers. The Bucks are battling for seeding with the Nets, and those are the Spurs next to. The Knicks are a playoff team, and the Suns, we close out with 2 games against Phoenix, and they're battling right now with Utah for the number 1 overall seed. So I don't see any of the teams down the stretch saying, hey, we got everything wrapped up. We're good. We don't need to win this one. I look at every one of those games is important to who the Spurs are playing that night. So there are no gimmies down the stretch. It's you got to win tonight, or you might not hang on to the 10th and close out the year with 12 straight losses.
After we saw the Spurs give up a 17-0 run at the end of the first quarter in that last game against the Utah Jazz, Pop basically threw in the towel. Post-game, I've never heard him say that. Well, we weren't going to win, so, let's sit everybody down and go play. You wonder if that's the mantra for the rest of the season. The moment the game feels out of reach, the moment you feel like, well, we're not going to win this one, will Pop use that as the excuse that we all think he needs to keep Devin Vassell on the court, to get Luka out and aggressive, because we saw that in the second half. And if we are going to go down in flames, in the worst collapse I can remember in the Spurs since David got hurt, and that was all willful and intentional. If they go down and lose 8, 9, 10 consecutive games, which seems, so possible, this might be the excuse that we've been waiting on for, you're either with us or you're not, DeMar. If you're not going to be here next year, guess what? Sit down and watch. This is not going to be pretty, either whether you're on the court or not. You might as well sit and watch. Let's let the young guys get their due. We saw that in the second half against the Jazz. You wonder how quick the hook will be for Pop tonight if things get out of hand.
Well, and again, I think I don't expect that to happen tonight. Pride, the Utah game was just flat embarrassing. And, we've heard, like when you lost by 20 at home to Cleveland, that happens some nights in the NBA. We didn't get those kind of comments after the Utah loss. I think they were embarrassed. To a man, I expect a better performance tonight. You are a career basketball guy, and you celebrated the fact the other day that Luka was the Spurs leading scorer. That's what you called the bright light in that game against Utah. Dan Weiss had an interesting tweet earlier today. Luka became the 12th different Spurs player to lead the club in scoring out of the 18 who have played one game this year. That's not good. That is like 66.7% of the roster has taken a turn leading the scoring charge, overwhelming the highest percentage in the league this season. That's not a stat that you want to brag about. That's awful for the San Antonio Spurs.
I take that. Actually, I don't look at it quite as negatively as you do. I do look at it when I see that stat. What'd you say? 12 different players have led the Spurs in scoring this season?
Yeah, of the 18 that have played at least one game.
So they've had 18 guys on the roster at some point over the season that set foot on a court, and 12 of them have led them in scoring. One, that tells me that they are starting, they kind of understand the offense. At least they're finding their shots at some point during the season. The other just goes to show that they're bereft of enough stars to go win on the regular. I mean, DeMar, I'm sure, has led us in scoring more than anybody over the last 5 years.
To me, it just
years.
speaks to the inconsistency of this basketball team.
Well, you don't have enough stars. You don't have enough guys that you can go get it. Go get it tonight. There's no play god that I'm going to call. There's no defense we're going to do. It's you, DeMar, you, DeJounte. You are going to have to go win it one way or the other. We've taken you as far as we can go. That's what championship teams have, and the Spurs just don't have it. It's 12 different guys led you in scoring.
I have a new goal. If 12 different guys have led the team in scoring out of the 18 that have played with 7 games left, we got to get those other 6. They're scoring up so that everybody on this team at some point could be the leading scorer on this squad.
Tonight, Keita Bates-Diop is your night. We're going for number 13. Hey, we'll give you starting lineups and figure out how the hell they're going to do it. Spurs, Kings tonight. You're on Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. We'll be right back. Alamo Cycleplex has let me borrow a Polaris slingshot. I'm talking to you that are in your car right now, surrounded by, an adequate automobile, something that gets you to and from something. When was the last time you woke up and could not wait to get into a vehicle and just go drive? The Polaris Slingshot is the closest I have felt to being free on the road in a long time. You've earned this. I want you to head over to Alamo Cycleplex and test drive one of these things. Yeah, they're a little intimidating. They look cool as all get out. But if you're looking for fun that you can absolutely control, something that makes you excited about running around the corner and going to the grocery store, heading down to your Valero to get something cold to drink, something that you cannot wait to get on. Maybe it's not a Polaris. Maybe it's a Vanderhall. Maybe you're looking for a 3-wheeler. Or maybe you need yourself a watercraft of some side, or it's finally time to upgrade that bike and you want to trade in one. Alamo Cycleplex is waiting on you. They're over at Days of All on I-10. I want to warn you, you keep hearing it on the news. They have great inventory now, but there's great concern down the road whether the chips are going to be available to produce all the fine things that Alamo Cycleplex has to offer. They got plenty of selection, 7 brands, new, used. They've got everything you need. They've got the service to back it up. The quality is there. They've got all the accoutrement and everything you need to enjoy a power sport toy. But when was the last time you woke up and could not wait to go do something? Have something out in your garage, something in your driveway that excites you and gets you ready to go do it. That's what Alamo Cycleplex offers you. It's the fun is waiting on you, and it starts at Alamo Cycleplex. Head over there, check out that great selection that they have. Find yourself a toy and charge into summer. The fun starts at Alamo Cycleplex. You head over there today, and I'm sure you'll thank me later.
To all you do-it-yourselfers, get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. Because America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop into Advance and choose from 4 new Fram oil change bundles starting at just $20.99. They have the oil and filters you need to keep your engine running stronger, longer. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
So, how can I promote my new curbside pickup service?
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need custom floor decals that'll get noticed, not just walked on.
Also possible, Staples Connect can help your business grow with custom printed sales and marketing materials. And now get 15% off signs, posters, and decals when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 5/29. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
For the ones standing guard. For the eagle-eyed. For the knights in shining armor. And for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com/safety, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're a bacon lover, I've got great news for you.
This is Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Our authentic dry-cured bacon is now available at grocery stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies and our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. Kielbasa Smoked Meats, slow-crafted in Texas since 1949.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hi, I'm Brooke Burke, and I have a question for you. Do you ever consider just how important your feet are? They're quite literally the foundation of your body, and if you don't take care of them, you're asking for problems. That's why I wear Skechers' new Arch Fit shoes. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to make a shoe that provides total foot and arch support. They used 20 years of data to design a podiatrist-certified insole that distributes support across the arch, no matter what foot type you have. Plus, Skechers Arch Fit provides extreme comfort. In fact, these just might be the most comfortable Skechers I've ever worn. Whether I'm walking or standing, they feel like a dream. Just try them on and you'll feel the instant difference. So if foot care is as important to you as it is to me, check out Skechers Arch Fit. They're podiatrist certified, they're comfortable, and they look great. Because when it comes to preserving my body, I know Skechers has my back and my feet. Get the support you need with Skechers' new Arch Fit at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Let me tell you why I love my Spurs, man.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is Matt Bonner.
This is Manu Ginobili. Hi, this is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
It's Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Head over to Mellow Mushroom and grab yourself one of those holy shiitake pizzas. Well made and ready for a Spurs game tonight. Tips about 9 o'clock. We're getting you ready right now. Jeff McDonald, the San Antonio Express News, joining us. You're on Game Night. Jeff, how's your day going?
Holy shiitake sounds like what Pop was saying in the first half the other night in Utah.
I bet you he was wishing for one of those as opposed to what he was watching, because it was one of those ridiculous, embarrassing games. So I do expect a better game tonight. To a man, they should have been embarrassed. And honestly, you know, this might be the last winnable game they have on their schedule this year. I mean, can you call it a must win?
I mean, I think you got to win the ones you can. And certainly this is the one that looks the most winnable. Going forward, it is funny with this team though, when they tend to every so often win one you didn't think there was just a chance in Hades they were going to win. So you look at the group of games, like go one by one, like, oh, they can't win that game, but they find a way to win one or two here or there. And I think about the last time they played Phoenix out in Phoenix and just trashed them without like half their team. So I think they could. There's probably there might be more wins on the schedule, but it might not matter.
Well, Jeff, that's really it, right?
They can maybe lose the rest of their games and still get in the play-in. I know Sacramento is a little bit of a threat now, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. The Spurs,
it's not, and that's both. Jeff, that's really it. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. They could go out losing, 10, 11 straight and still make it into that number 10 seed, which just seems absolutely ridiculous. But, we followed Pop long enough that he needs benchmarks and signs to do certain things. And he told us before, look, we're playing to win it until we can't. And we heard against Utah the other night that, he told us post-game we weren't going to win. I knew that early, so I pulled everybody else and let them play. If that realization is not only are we not going to win tonight, but we're not going to win throughout the season, will that affect the minutes for the guys that might need a little bit more experience, or are they going to charge until there is literally no chance with guys that got them this far?
Yeah, I think with 7 games left, you're not going to see a lot of change in strategy, change in horses. I think they're going to do what they've done and hope it works out better than it has been lately. And they are just a hard team to figure, because every so often they win 3 or 4 in a row and they look really good, or they win 3 in a row and lose a couple where they lost the game, but they still look pretty good. So it's really hard to judge. And, it's hard to sit here in a 5-game losing streak and say, yeah, they're playing pretty good except for those Utah games, but they kind of were. Like there's stuff to like, but I think this is just, it's hard for us in San Antonio to get used to this. And we had all last season to get used to it too. This is what it's like to have a team that's in 10th place. They look good for a little while and they look like crap for a little while. And then they look good for a while, but lose anyway. This is just life with a kind of bad team. Yeah.
It sucks. Tim Duncan going in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it sucks since he retired. But you look at the stat, and I was talking about it before the break. I don't know if you heard us while you were on hold. Dan Weiss had a tweet earlier. Luka was the 12th different Spur to lead the team in scoring. I think that is a ridiculous stat. What do you make of that? And then should they have some fun and try to get the other 6 guys up there so they can claim that at some point?
Yeah, they definitely need a game where like Quindari Weatherspoon is just snowbirding the whole time.
If he would snowbird on defense, that would help. Go stand by the rim. Don't even come up. Just wait for them. They're going to be here soon.
I don't know that that's such a great stat for the Spurs. I don't know. Like it just tells me you don't really have.
It's a terrible stat. You don't have any stars. You got 12 dudes rolling in. Yes, it's disheartening.
I mean, I guess I don't really believe this, but the other thing I would argue, I'm just going to say it, but I'll tell you the difference. When the Spurs won the title in 2014, I don't know how many different leading scorers they had, but there was something to be said that they were able to share the load. I think their leading scorer that year was Tony Parker at like 16 points a game.
They were sharing the load with 3 Hall of Famers.
Exactly.
We're sharing the load with a couple of guys that could barely buy a drink.
That's the difference. And that's the difference. When it's 12 guys and one of them is Luka Šamanić, that's the difference. Yeah.
Jeff, speaking of Luka, 15 points the other night, very aggressive offensively. Was it enough to kind of make you feel a little bit better, or was it just,
No.
he was there and nobody else cared, so he just kept shooting?
I mean, every time he plays, you see a little bit more to like, I guess. I thought what Pop said after the game when I asked about Luka was pretty spot on, where he's still not really making decisions with the ball. It's almost like he's decided what he's going to do before the ball gets to him, and then he just does that thing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. He's still not really in the flow of playing NBA basketball. I think he's really great at the G League level, but he hasn't really, mastered. Maybe it's a speed thing. Maybe it's I don't know what it is, but hasn't really got it at the NBA level yet. And it takes different guys, different time periods to click. Some guys get it quicker than others. Some guys maybe never get it. And maybe that's where Luka is. And then there might be something to be said of, just play him and let him figure it out and let him get used to it. And maybe he progresses that way. But, but I don't know if that's the solution either. The Spurs have been pretty good over the years about knowing how to groom guys, know when guys are ready to show up and contribute as opposed to show up and kind of get their butts handed to them. So I kind of give them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to how quickly they throw guys in the fire. But, Luka looked all right the other night. He looked all right the other night, but there's still some of that.
Go ahead, take care of it, Jeff.
Yeah, we understand.
We understand. We all deal with this. So
think about
if you need to do this,
Jeff. As you've got daughters that are asking you questions. We often get dogs that are barking in the show. It goes with it. How is it? She just wanted to tell me how much of her corn dog she had eaten. That was an important thing to say while I'm talking on the phone. That's a huge stat. I mean, was it 3/4?
She leave it for you?
Did you just take the breading off? I mean, it
was a corn dog and a half. Yeah,
corn dog and a half, man. That's nice. State fair worthy. That's awesome, man. Fletcher's as the longtime Spurs beat writer, how nice is it for you to look at the regular season schedule and plan your vacation immediately?
Oh, do I have to say that out loud? I feel seen now. I feel seen.
That light at the end of the tunnel is, in fact, light. It is not a trade. That light at the end of the tunnel is, in fact, peace and calm on the other side of this terrible mountain.
I'm looking at dates that would conflict with like the second round of the playoffs, and I feel pretty safe there. So,
you don't have to buy vacation insurance.
Our local basketball team. But
we've just got a couple of seconds left. Jeff, real quickly, as we talk about the 7 games left, and we know that Pop's got a night job that he's going to have to jump into as soon as the season is done. Has there been any discussion and talk about what the process will be when Pop takes things over? What's the first thing he'll do as he becomes the coach and prep for the Olympics coming up here in July?
I don't know. I think you're going to have to beg people to play. I mean, that's kind of true. With the way this NBA season is going, and if any players that are involved in NBA finals, I can't imagine they're going to end up playing in the Olympics. It's like it's like a 3-day turnaround between Game 7 of the Olympics and Game 7 of the finals and Game 1 of the Olympics.
Hey, Jeff, we've got to go. Jeff, I hate to cut you off, but we are up against a hard deadline. This has been Game Night San Antonio. It's been brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Go out there and get yourself a pie. Have a safe weekend. If you can get a shot, go get yourself vaccinated. We will be back on Monday. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Happy Mother's Day, all.
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, pump, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at Tsaog Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, Tsaog has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine service